It's your boy Ink. Welcome to the Commentary Show. Continuing mobs are having a fantastic day. Today was a crazy day. We had to deal with the storage the whole day. However, it's a great news because we're still able to do the tournaments. I would have preferred to finish the run, but it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. At the end of the day, if we can, we can. If we can't, we can't. We got 2 minutes left, so let's freaking go. This is a bit of a problem. Okay, why? Because this is gonna be taking the time to. Okay, good. So what do we do? By workshop updates. Okay, good. We're also making popcorn because I love popcorn. Okay. Ugh. My allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy. If you're not with me, then you're my enemy. Only to sit with deals and absolute, I will do what I must. You will try, I failed you, and again, now you failed you. Okay, now we're gonna do this, we're gonna be doing this, we're gonna be doing this, we're gonna be doing... Ooh. Good. One shot. 58 seconds, we're good. I would prefer to do, it, like I said, but it's okay. We're not gonna make a big thing of it. It happens. It's okay, it's alright. Alright. Buy 1 card. With formation. Okay. Quick. Okay. Okay. Please, dude. 18 seconds left. Last week we didn't do so good on tournaments, so this week we're gonna have to make it a bit better. We are playing Cherry We are watching Cherry like for 10 days. I'll do what I must. You will try. I failed you, Anakin. I failed you. Should have known the Jedi was evil, taking over. Anakin Chancellor Palpatine is evil. From my point of view, the Jedi are evil. Well, then you are lost. This is the end for you, my master. It's over, Anakin. Got the high ground. Good. Good. So now I'm gonna take myself a popcorn. Right? I love Cherry.
That ain't my website.
That
ain't her website yet.
This one.
Don't be giving that false information. It's mature BBW. Mature BBW. You got all the anal. Oh, the 18 plus line. Yeah.
I also want to take a quick shower because I didn't shower today. And I smell.
This is my mistake. I get to decide if it's okay with or not. Exactly. For parents. She makes the choice.
Let's see.
Yelling at you because you want to be quiet. So let me be quiet now.
Let's see what we can do. Oh, they talked a lot today. I'm going to Japan for 12 days, which means I might not finish mission. I'm setting up remote access. Hopefully, I might be able to finish. Thanks for telling us at Orfeo. With a reply, taken. Loading those. So still got to play for 1 year to make the damage. And how to break tier 12. Okay. Bot range, tower damage. At Dar, I would say so, but honestly, the first run of Relic, which is Coin and Lab Speed, is the best. So who knows? I did try to take a wave wall regen, gate for the info dash. How much is the total health? Yeah, Chrono Field, poison for CC. It's called. I read that perma Chrono Field very helpful. With size speed reduction. Ooh. Involvement in this chat. Thanks, you guys, for making this social and fun. How was everyone? Hey. There you go. I unlocked it.
I haven't heard from her. We think she's in jail. Every time I try to call her, she won't answer the phone. The phone is off. I'll go straight to the answer machine. Yeah, she hasn't been about this one in a long time. She must have done something bad. And last I heard, she went down to Florida with some guy she met.
50.
I got her cousin Billy Hall down there. And he said that time I went to this wall store and stole a bunch of things. Well, of course, that's what she does. So, that's what she does. Petty theft. I mean, she could at least steal some good makeup like wet wine. I just made all this big money. She does all that cheap shit. Get you some wet wine. I agree with you, Crystal. 100%. Yeah, don't get none of that skinny hair shit. 100%. This chicken is good. You might hold up the chicken. You might hold up the chicken. You know what we gotta do? A thumbnail. Let's do a thumbnail. You're right.
You're right. C'est qu'on chie con.
These potatoes are good. Oh, delicious. You want to do another question? Yeah, this is a good one. How did you get?
That's for king.
Question. People up early.
Alright, boss.
You have a bundle. Let me wipe my hands first. Wipe the hands. Wipe the hands. All right. Here we go.
Wait. Bravo, ouais. Ouais, c'est.
Yeah. Keep you saying y'all done during sex.
Yeah.
Being tied to the bed.
Look at this. That's the bad thing, that's it.
You know,
Just vision could that. Well, no, it's it. Meet Michael Devin. What is she said? Hi, welcome to.
Bonjour, je suis Gemini.
Hello, Gemini.
Comment puis-je vous aider?
Comment ça marche? Je fais juste parler.
On peut parler de tout ce que vous voulez.
Ok, je vais attendre, Gemini.
Pas de problème. Essayez de mettre du yogourt grec à la place. L'enfant est-il prêt à se coucher? Non.
Est-ce que tu peux le rendre plus professionnel?
Bien sûr, voici une autre version.
Waouh, ça c'est utile.
De rien. Aimeriez-vous discuter d'autre chose?
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Crystal and this is
Jamie.
and we're here at
Waiter's Schnitzel. Waiter's Schnitzel. We ain't never been there.
I've never heard of this place. We drove by and I said, let's get us a hot dog.
For good check. I'm gonna be one of those. I've never been here.
We got lots of hot dogs. See, in Spanish,
How you doing? Cool. Hey, can you just give me a minute? I ain't never been here. I want to check out the menu. Okay. Junkyard dog, chili cheese, onions, grilled onions, and mustard.
I want a chili dog. I want a chili dog with cheese, a chili cheese dog, and order of fries. And what else they got to drink?
They got cucumber, watermelon, and wild berry lemonade.
If it's that, you can run the
No, it's a pickle egg. That's what it is. Okay. Okay, I'm ready. How you doing? I'm ready to order. Can I get a chili cheese dog, a junkyard dog, an order of fries, jalapeno poppers, mini corn dogs, a Fruit Loop shake.
I want to get some ice cream.
Get you one. They got Reese's Oreo shake, Reese's Cokes, freezers. Okay.
It's old thing.
Okay.
And roll up I got a lot of stuff. Is he okay with that?
Just huh? What was that? You want me to restart? What you got on there? The mini corn dogs, yeah, and order french fries. Medium. And then can I get a Fruit Loop shake? A watermelon lemonade? A large Mountain Dew? And one of the old-fashioned caramel sundaes. And that'll do me. That'll do me. That sounds good. I'll take it. Whatever you give me. You got it. Thank you. I thought that was pretty cheaper than the dog. You weren't happening. That's not $30 for the. You get a hot dog. Take hot dogs for $1. But you can't get a. How you doing? You're cool. Hey, we ain't never been here before. Never. I'm excited.
You want me to pay on it?
Hey, you got your wallet?
Yeah. You usually pay, so I didn't want to get down there.
All right, come on.
Let me get a hold of it. No shirt on it.
I won't.
Like, scan my information.
Thank you. Hey, can we get some ranch, ketchup, and mustard? Thank you. It's small in there. That kitchen is small.
And it ain't even a building. It's a roof and a roof.
It's yellow. I wish I could see it. It's yellow. It's a half a roof and a half a roof, and then they're in there.
It's like, well, here's the church, and here's the secret. Open the door. And there's all
Yep.
I do it. Here's the church, and here's the secret. Open the door.
And show all the people.
And your fingers are supposed to represent
Thank you. You're welcome. I don't want no stealing your idea. Again. Exactly. Look on the side. It looks like there's just a bunch of deep fryers back there. Deep fryers. Ricky, you gotta get in.
I'm sorry, honey, I can't see.
But they won't watch it if you're over like this. They're not gonna watch it. You gotta be like this.
Well, you should never take that secret.
There you go. Stay like that. You gotta stay in frame. It's mukbang. You gotta be in it.
When we even started eating it, so I thought it was okay.
No, they want to see you in the hole from start to finish.
Well, how do I know what they're gonna put on there? I give it to the damn neighbor and he puts it on there. I don't know if he's gonna cut all this out.
No, he won't cut nothing out. I told him not to. You gotta keep the whole thing because the people want to see you ordering and they want to see the whole process of the mukbang. So that's what we're doing.
I've been when I do my lately, I've been forgetting to take my damn thumbnail. So okay, don't be mad at me.
Chris, you gotta do thumbnails. It's one of the most important things. Seatbelt, seat back, thumbnail, and a tap.
Seatbelt,
Seat back, thumbnail, and a tap.
the SSTT.
S squared T squared. Okay.
You heard it here first, folks, on Tammy's Mukbang College.
Well, I just know what I'm doing. I've been doing it a while. Damn, they must be cooking everything fresh in there.
I hope so.
Me too. That's why I'm not too angry. But it's taking longer than I expected.
You know, I'm gonna get that little one tip because he was really nice. And I think he heard every item you said.
Yeah, he did good.
You think $5 is enough?
Yeah. Holy shit, a $5 tip? I'd be squirting in my pants. That's really nice of you.
I've been learning that, to get good service, you gotta give good service.
Mhm.
Sometimes you gotta pay to get that extra, you might throw a couple extra Fritos in your shake.
Yep.
Or, well, it's not a Frito.
Well, you better put ketchup and mustard in there because I want that for my corn dogs I got.
I just don't know why they
Hey, oh, thank you.
Oh, look at that.
That looks good. Hey, my cousin Crystal here wanted to give you a $5 tip. That's from Crystal.
You're working hard in there, honey.
You're welcome.
That's a really nice.
You're welcome.
He's just being real helpful, because we said how many items we said 15 or so.
A lot.
And he went by memory and said each one.
He was patient with us. He was patient with us.
He must take a long time.
That corn Sunday was
I want to
good.
taste a bite of it.
Oh,
This is just a cheap bite. I got the caramel sundae. It says Tasty Freeze. As you can see, they did not spell it correctly. There's actually an E on the end of freeze.
Damn, I should have got one of those. That's all right. That's all right. I'll enjoy my fruit loop shake.
Oh, Jerry.
And listen, we got some questions. You guys asked some questions on Instagram. We got some good ones. We got some good ones.
And they ain't all about sex. Usually they're all about sex.
Asking us if we like anal or what kind of dick we like or
Of course we like anal.
Of course.
Who doesn't like anal?
Exactly. But y'all asked some good questions. Okay, so we're gonna answer those. I'm wondering if we should answer one right now if they're about to give us our food. Let's go ahead and answer one. Okay. Love this question. Tammy, Crystal, what's your preferred appetizer?
Oh,
Cheese sticks.
cheese sticks are good. I'm gonna go with a toasted ravioli.
For an appetizer? Where are you going? Olive Garden. Olive Garden.
Toasted ravioli.
Okay. Well, I've only been once. That's why I just figured you go to Olive Garden.
But if I'm really splurging, I get a wedge. And if you never had a wedge, what they do is cut the lettuce. They take a whole round lettuce head and cut it to make it into a wedge shape. And they put the toppings on it. And they don't even toss the salad or nothing. They put the toppings on the wedge and you eat it as is.
You do always order the wedges. I noticed that. Thank you. Oh, look, I got a big straw. Okay. Can I please get both ketchup, mustard, and ranch if you got it? I'll do a taste test in a minute here, but
It's a different color. Our fellow went on break.
yeah, I know where he went. He's
He
gone.
was just walking out that little door there.
This is everything? Oh, we have Mountain Dew and a lemonade as well. Yep. Make sure everything's in here.
Where's the fella I gave the tip to? He should be in there making sure this is actually
Go down the front.
good.
Oh, thank you. Mountain Dew. Thank you. Thanks. Have a good one.
You think that people meant appetizer for sex? Like maybe they
Ooh.
were trying to do like, what you
make
like
it oral?
Yeah, what do you like to do before you have sex?
Well, let's answer both. You can, yeah, we can most definitely answer both, Christy.
Well, for appetizer for sex?
Mine is sucking dick. I love it.
Even for you? Does it bring you pleasure?
Yes. Oh, are you kidding me? It gets me throbbing harder than anything. All right, so Wiener Schnitzel don't have a parking lot, so we got to pull out into the.
The damn traffic and get killed. I don't know. I like to do different things. I like to maybe have the man act like he's somebody else. Like, oh,
Rope play.
you're
Rope play. That's what it's called.
you're working in my garden today.
Yeah.
Come in and I'll get you a cold drink.
Yeah. I've never been into the rope play.
Oh, I love it. It makes you feel like you're with this.
Yeah.
You can get sick of your partner.
Well, that's the thing. If I get sick of my partner, I do just get something different.
Well, you can do that too.
You know?
In Siggy's yogurt, every simple ingredient has a purpose. It's made with 3 times more milk, with 3 times more protein than the yogurt, and low in sugar. Because at Siggy's, simple is better.
With fear.
Goblet of Hope. Heed my call. Those seeking revenge must pay a price. Everything falls to the wayside in the face of ruthless power. Goblet of Hope.
Like empires, prices rise and fall.
All right, go ahead. I'm gonna park right where you are, honey. Go ahead. Go ahead. All right. We're gonna park right here in shade. Perfect.
Right by the pawn shop.
Pawn shop right there. Okay. I'm gonna try mine. Mmm.
Is it good?
World's most wanted wiener.
Oh my god.
That's you.
That is hilarious.
Mm.
You want me to pass you something? What you want? You gonna distribute?
I'll be the passion. These look like jalapeno poppers. You don't want those, do you?
Hell no, those are fine
You
shit.
hate jalapenos. Mini corn dogs with the
Oh,
potatoes.
I love those.
Here's your fries. Got the ranch right here. Here is this your chili cheese dog?
It better not be.
It is, Crystal.
Why don't you put it in the box?
It's your chili cheese dog.
Juicy looking.
Mine's in a box.
Why don't you put mine in the box?
Mine's in a box.
Oh, because you got the junkyard?
It's supposed to come with crispy onions on top, not fries. And they did give us plenty of ketchup and mustard. That's it.
I don't think you think nothing.
No word, go back through. Let's get thumbnail. Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Good. Alright. I'm gonna try my jalapeno poppers.
I'm trying my french fries.
The ranch is good.
Can I have a piece of ketchup?
Oh, honeys. Just one little pack
That's good.
for now. I got more for you. Alright, here we go. Mmm.
That's good.
Mmm. Okay. I'm real picky on my jalapeno poppers. Woo. Mmm.
One time I had one of my partners role play. He was a captain of a riverboat cruise. Well, you know how I love a riverboat cruise.
Love them.
And, it was real nice. You know, he was a good love maker.
So how did it start?
Well, I told him, I'm in my room, I sit in a chair like I'm on a riverboat.
Okay.
He comes by and says,
One little pack
that's good.
for now. I got more for you. Alright, here we go. Mmm.
That's good.
Mmm. Okay. I'm real picky on my jalapeno poppers. Mmm.
One time I had one of my partners role play. He was a captain of a riverboat cruise. Well, you know how I love a riverboat cruise.
Love them.
And, it was real nice. You know, he was a good love maker.
So how did it start?
Well, I told him, I'm in my room, I sit in a chair like I'm on a riverboat.
Okay.
He comes by and says, excuse me, man, do you take it? And I said, I acted like I didn't. Oh, let me look. I started looking at my purse. He said, well, I'm going to have to search you if you don't have a ticket. That's what he said to me. He started patting me, all around my stomach, my butt. He's like, is the ticket there? Is the ticket there? Oh, pull my pants down. Is the ticket there? Is the ticket there? Next thing you know,
He's found it. That's hot.
and down the river we went, down the muddy Mississippi.
That's actually hot. Alright. These jalapeno poppers. I love them. 10 out of 10 because look at this. The little jalapenos are chopped up and they're in there little. And I like that. What I don't like is when you bite into a whole jalapeno and it's nothing but fucking jalapeno. Where's the cheese? Okay? These are good. And they're not that poppers, but you actually like. There's no jalapeno seeds in there. Mmm.
All right, I don't even know if that's Let me just give me 3.
Here.
Just in case. I'm going to taste that. I don't know.
Lock mine open. Wish there was crispy onions on top, but
Why you wouldn't put this in the box? I'll never know. What see that is?
I also told him to give me whatever, so that's kind of me.
Oh, you did?
I said just give me whatever. Because he was having trouble with the order.
Oh, damn.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Chili, cheese, onions, and french fries and mustard.
I don't know how they call it a junkyard, though. Ain't none of them things in the junkyard. Never heard of them.
Both cars and trucks. So, I don't know how they got that.
That's good.
I like this.
Look how the cheese is wrapped around the hot dog. It's 360 coverage. It ain't just
Wow.
on top.
Wow.
That's what I like in hot dog.
Mmm.
I'm gonna come back here if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the cheese at the bottom.
Wow. Oh. But that these ain't big enough.
The hot dogs?
We're going to go, let's answer another question, okay? Alright. Let's see here. Tammy, Crystal, have y'all ever wished you had smaller tits? Do they hurt your back? No.
Wish I had big tits.
Yeah. I'm proud of my tits. And you may think, damn, Tammy, those tits are too big. They look like they hurt you. I've never had back problems. Okay, I'm a sturdy guy. Okay, I can handle my tits. Okay?
I'm sure it'll be. better when you're making love and a man sucking on a big titty. You know?
Yeah.
Small titties are fine too, but that's not my preference. My preference is to have it's like an overflowing cornucopia of tits
Yeah.
coming out of my chest.
Whoa.
I like that. I like that. How you put that. And just I'm always proud of what I have. You know. Okay. Here's a little bitty corn dogs.
There ain't a bad tit out there, though. That's the thing.
All tits are good tits. What else is that?
If God had said, okay, come up here, look on this display, and pick the tits you want, I would pick the last one, the biggest one they had.
Yeah.
The biggest
But
one.
all tits are good tits. Crystal, have I not been saying that since I was probably what, 3 or 4?
Yes. And you had knowledge beyond your years.
Crystal, these are good. You're loving.
What's that, corn dog?
Get your little corn dog.
Because you know, when I was say, oh, your tits have to look like this or that or this or that. You know who's saying that? Old, boring men.
Ryan texted me.
Fuck you. Okay? You're gonna get whatever shit I'm gonna put in your fucking mouth, right?
Oh, you're telling me because my tits are big, you're not going to suck on it? You're going to suck on it.
Exactly.
And you're going to like it, regardless. Now, my titties are kind of long. I have a bra in there. That's okay. That enhances my lovemaking when my titty is long.
Easier for him to fall into his mouth and right on top, right?
Oh, that corn dog. Damn.
Told ya.
That is the best corn dog covering.
Told ya. Corn dog shell.
Mais voyons donc.
I'm ready for it.
No. Okay. I respect Crystal. Crystal, you know, she was my older cousin growing up. Grandma raised us both. So, she's like a sister to me, but she's also like an aunt or something, like a young aunt, you know?
So that's 54. That's 44.
There's never been nothing to
No,
talk about.
because we see. I just thought everything. There ain't much that we can disagree on.
You know?
6 hour.
You will get out of line when you're, can I say, no, and teach you the right way.
Well, here's the thing, okay? I'll never forget the first time I got fingered. Oh god, I was in what? I don't know. Anyway, I came home and told,
Kia, des mouvements bien d'inspiration. On protège bien notre peau avec de l'écran solaire. Pourquoi pour nos dents ce serait différent? Pro-émail défense active.
Cricut Joy Extra is on sale now. Save $50 on our Fits in Any Space cutting machine. That cuts, writes, draws, and adds
Whoa.
foiled accents. It's perfect for making custom cards, full color stickers, and personalized t-shirts. See what's possible
Pretty good.
with Cricut Joy Extra. Don't miss this limited time deal. Shop now at Cricut.com.
Chez Enterprise World, nos experts voient toujours une autre route. Car lorsqu'il n'y a pas de limite à la
And
il
lastly,
n'y a pas de limite aux chemins que peuvent parcourir les entreprises.
what'd you say? I'll never forget the first time I got fingered, okay? I ran home, I was so excited. You remember that?
Rachel. She was yelling from the front yard. And I get up real quick because I think something's wrong. I think I got hurt or got a fight, you know, or something.
And she said, what happened? I said, I just got fingered blasted. You know? And she said, did you really? You know? And I was a jerk. And yeah.
I said, did you squirt?
You did ask. And I didn't, not the first time. I didn't, you know? I think I was just nervous. But, you know, all my milestones in life, I've been excited to tell you about it. You know, that's how realistic we are.
And it's almost like we had the same milestones in the same part of our lives. Because that was, I'm trying to think how old you was. You about 6th or 7th grade maybe, or were you old in high school?
Yeah.
When you got fingered first.
That's well.
Well, so that about 6th, 7th grade. And then when I was in 6th, 7th grade, that's the first time I got fingered too. And I remember it distinctly. And I did squirt.
You did?
I did squirt. I didn't know at the time what it was. And
Wow.
I thought maybe I had, peed on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he said, no, baby, that's female. Female stuff right there.
Female nut.
Female nut. He didn't say that, but that's what female nut.
Mm.
Female nut. And I ain't stopped
I was doing the labs with the plus, and we have one elite thing left.
I've seen a couple articles on squirting. They say, oh, put a towel down. Put a towel down. You better put some rubber sheets down before I get in there, or you're going to get yourself a new mattress.
Oh, wow, you squirt a lot.
So now we have a little bit of an issue with the
There's a lot of area.
issue.
Wow. Grandma's saying that. Here, you're talking.
It might be a hereditary thing.
Well, I squirt, but I don't spray like y'all do.
Yours just comes out.
Yeah, my urethra must be just shaped different, maybe or something. I don't know.
I'm choking on something. I'm choking on the fry. I got jalapenos in there.
Damn, winter stickle is good.
I wonder if we could do a 23andMe, see if it has traits of squirting on there.
And you know what? Why not? We have 16,000 diamond.
To say if you
Let's get the module. Let's get the one we wanted.
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It also says like, oh, you like
Wait, what?
cilantro, or you don't like cilantro.
I bet.
You took out the next one, the last one. What kind of bullshit is that?
I wonder if there's a squirting category.
If there's not, there needs to be one. And that may be something that we could, you know.
Initiate for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's something,
Ooh, got something good.
you can't just out of the blue squirt
But now we're focusing on the crown.
not know what you gotta know it's in your family.
Yeah.
We're a family of squirters.
Mm-hmm. So you can tell the rest of the family. Warn them, you know?
Like, oh, at Crystal's saying tonight she's gonna stay
Exactly.
in the mattress room.
Exactly. Or is that dog pee? Or is that squirt? You know, like, that's smart. That's really smart.
I don't know why we didn't do that before. Oh, I want to show everybody something I got at Big Lots today. I picked this
Another
up.
one.
I'll tell you, it was in the dog section, the dog, and it even says dog toy, but it's so cute. Look at it. Watch this. It says soft material, great for gentle chewers, so you can chew on it. And it says,
Yo, let's go. Nice.
I thought they looked cute in my carrier cabinet because everything I have in there.
Okay, that's not good. Well, that's good, but still, that is actually really good.
She put that in her basket. I said, Crystal, you ain't got a dog.
You don't need a dog to enjoy this. Look at it.
Dad, that was a good one.
Really cute. And it says it's made for easy pickup.
Mm.
So maybe you're thinking, that looks like it's hard to pick up. You put your hand on it, it's got a little nub.
That is brand new. Brand new.
It's got like a grip.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Look, look.
See? Easy to pick up. I paid $3.99 for it.
Worth every penny.
Latex toy.
Worth every fucking penny.
Good.
Every penny. You want to do that question?
Sure.
Let's see here.
I'm gonna start eating this Sunday. It's that much.
Let's see here.
Let's do 4 more.
That's a good question. A lot of people asking us for threesomes.
Asking us for doing it? Does it have their phone numbers on there?
We can go back and track them. A lot of people asking about Rodney. Listen, we don't have a Rodney update. We think he got arrested somewhere. And maybe out of state because we called all the local county jails to get in there.
And besides that, why do they want to keep opening this window?
Because we put our lives out there about what happened between you and Rodney.
And we won't do it. We'll just do it when we have to fuse module.
What happens when you go viral? I go viral because the entire people say, where's Rodney? Where's Rodney? They'll come up to me at one of your shows and say, have you found Rodney? And I look around, I say, because I'm sitting by myself, I say, do you see him sitting here?
Yeah. It upsets her. The whole breakup is upsetting, you know, because she didn't get closure.
Yep.
You kicked your turn up and bounced. And that's the last. Let's don't, we don't like to talk about it.
I was like, what? This gal at the show the other day goes, hey honeys. You know, like you'll say, hey honeys. She's gonna say, here's Rodney. His name's Rodney. Ha 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 ha. And I looked thinking it's gonna be him.
There was another man named Rodney.
It was just another man named Rodney.
And you thought it was going to be Rodney. Wow. I'm sorry.
I just keep thinking he's gonna show up. You know, when they say, oh, you fall in love with the least expected. So I'm trying not to least expect it. You know, so maybe he'll show back up.
Well, if he does show back up, you're not falling in love with him. Again, that's what I'm saying. I'm whooping his ass. Crystal,
Crystal.
you kicked your girl cabinet.
You know?
I know it is. Okay? But you deserve much better than Rodney's ass. And you know that. I can't wait to get my hands on Rodney. I swear.
I can't wait to get my hands on Tracy.
See her cry?
Ooh,
I
This is much better.
I can't get over it in a day.
462. This is much better.
Somebody else says, "What, have you seen Rodney or seen Rodney down at the Sitco?" But fine, let him be at the Sitco without me.
Yeah. I know. I get what you're saying.
And I appreciate everybody being concerned. But don't open this wound for me again, over and over.
I agree. I don't bring it up, Harvey. People are hurting him every day.
Rodney.
I think I saw Rodney. What's a Rodney update? And I'll hear her in there. So I'm glad not just crying.
Look at that Rodney.
You got a t-shirt that says, "Where's Rodney?" with our hands like this.
Well, we wanted to make some money. We wanted to make some money.
And we did.
And we did.
Why do you think I got this?
That's how she got that. You think we could win Drizzles make $30 without selling Rodney t-shirts? And I thought, if we put that t-shirt,
¿Qué pasa, maestro Mixer? ¿Qué pasa, maestro Mixer? No.
That'd be my idea. We don't know. We don't know. We need to hire a private eye.
Maybe we could get the dog that I'm on. I think you could get him because you're verified. You could probably get him to do it.
Chris, I didn't even think about that. But you're right.
I bet he'd find him quick too. You know he's finding people quick. Bill, you know, give him a little pep talk and say, I used to lead this kind of lifestyle. But look at me now, I'm a driving PI.
Hey, can y'all do me a favor? Go message and comment on Dog the Bounty Hunter's Instagram and just say, hey, could y'all please help out Tammy and Crystal? I'll message him too, but he may not see mine. He's super famous, you know?
Yeah, but you got that little hashtag.
Mm-hmm. I do.
That was really good one.
Oh, he'd find Rodney in a heartbeat.
And then they could do it. They'd do like an episode of Cheaters and Doggy Dog Hunter. Because then they had me in the backseat of the car. And they're pulling up on the ground. I get out of the car. And I get closure.
And then I will be asked.
Yes.
I'll let you get closer first. And then mine.
No, I'm telling you no. If you close, you know you look me like that.
Oh, I'm going to get for sure. For worth it. This is good.
I like it. I'm breathing.
Yep. We ain't got no more questions.
I think we're done.
I ain't got no more food. Ate it all.
We ate it all. Well, that was really fun. And what I say at the end of my video, say, thanks for joining me for Crystal's food review. Check back next time for more food reviews.
Bye. Love you. Bye.
Hello everyone, it's me, Crystal, and I'm here with yet another Crystal's food reviews and other things. And guess who's the other thing today?
Tammy,
Probably didn't recognize her because of the sunglasses that that's her.
it's me.
L'événement Ma Beauté est en cours.
It wasn't all fully.
See, her. And we're at Test Box today, where we're going to try to test out different foods from Jack in the Box.
Ooh, I haven't been here forever. They got spicy chicken strips.
Not for me.
I'm gonna try them. You know what you want? Whoa, Snook's Munchie Meal. Oh, damn. You know what you're getting?
I am my mother's stepdaughter.
I know I want 2 tacos.
Okay, me too. Chicken cheddar biscuit. How you doing? I'm doing pretty good. Could I please try the spicy chicken strips? Let's do 3. Curry, curl it up for me. Yeah. Could I please get, let's do no drink. Yeah. Oh, hell no. Throw in a Coke. Hell no, I don't want one. Throw in a Coke. Yeah. Can I get a sausage, egg, and cheese for someone? Four tacos.
Yes.
3 egg rolls. And a number 6
Straight fries.
with straight fries.
Can you get a shake?
Can we get a shake on there?
A chocolate.
Chocolate shake? I'll do the cookie one. Yeah. What else we get?
We gotta have a lot of ranch.
Yeah, can we get extra ranch? Ranch? Oh, sure will. All right. Thank you.
They say I'm charging for ranch.
Hell yeah.
Don't get the curb.
I know, I hit the curb on the way here and almost killed us.
I got through the windshield. Here's my car, don't show it.
I won't show the numbers, because people will take the numbers and order stuff off Amazon. How you doing? Oh, hell yeah. All right. She sure does. Oh, honeys, can we get, you got grape jelly? Can we get some grape jelly, some ranch, some sweet and sour? Throw in a couple more of those chicken strips, whatever you think will be good with them. Surprise me. Okay, thank you. Don't show, oh God. It showed it, didn't it? No, they're not. I will pass.
Using my credit card. You showed it. And all they have to do is take a picture and they go on their phone and go like this. And it makes it bigger and they go.
Well, people are ordering, if you see unwanted,
Items.
if you see unwanted purchases on your Amazon, that's how you know a hacker got you. Just call your bank and say, hey, hacker got me. Post a YouTube video and they have a number on there accidentally.
And they'll say, well, don't show your credit card.
And you say, yeah, thanks, I don't get shit.
And if you're gonna order something on Amazon, at least get something good.
You're right.
Don't get a bunch of bullshit.
Don't get a new shower curtain. If you're gonna steal somebody's identity, don't get a shower curtain. Get something good.
Get something big, like a new TV,
Or a Corvette.
a Corvette,
You know? Something like that.
Corvette, a TV, new pair of shoes.
That's what I would do. And I would never steal anybody's identities. Because I don't know how. But if I did, that's what the type of stuff I'd get. You'd see me driving around a Corvette. So if you ever see me doing that,
Then I know you stole my credit card.
exactly.
And they'll call me and say, Miss Crystal, you buy a Corvette? Do I look like I drive a Corvette?
Also, I didn't want no drink because look what we stopped before we got here. All right. There's your things. I'm gonna stick my Coke right here.
I got a lot of drinks.
Thing. Okay. And that looks good. Shit. And I love her in there. She's an angel.
I wish I had cash so I could give her a tip.
Same, I ain't got none. We'll come back through here. I'll have to do a mukbang on my channel through here. Oh, and I did want to say,
That's an ice cream.
is it good? I did want to say, yesterday,
Je suis jeune. Ça commence jeune.
a piggy mukbang.
Ça commence jeune, jeune.
Put 18
Oui,
plus restricted
Vraiment
items.
drôle d'oracle. On dirait que t'as eu des expériences meilleures à dire.
Ah,
Ah, attends, il y a eu your fave. Oh, il était juste une connasse. Ouais, connard, ouais. T'es un fou con.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Hein?
Just that. Whoa. Whoa.
1K?
Sign in and comment, hey, YouTube, take the restrictions off.
Okay, I'm trying to tell you. Look. These are my email cards. Okay.
Absolutely.
I should have bought Snap.
I think somebody wrote that.
Almost $15.
I don't know, that's all I'm gonna do. It's wrong somehow.
What we're after.
Because ultimately hour. I constantly keep.
Welcome, please. If you want to change the channel, get up and change it with your own hand. Exactly. And I was really little, she used to make me do it. So I have to get up and go flip it for her. Me. Woo! Oh, thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Bye. And guess what? It's 3:30 p.m. I hadn't eaten all damn day. Thanks for some reason for taco. A little bit of sausage croissants. Woo! They get napkins, that's for sure. Here's your straight fries. Here's that must be your burger. Here's some ketchup. We got barbecue sauce right here. Good. Right here. Taco. What's that brown one? Barbecue. What's this? Cheese ribs. My little breakfast sandwich. Look how little it is. That's why I get multiple things. That's why I get multiple things. What's going on? You want to go back to dinner? What you eat your range with? With my taco, with my fries, with my burger. I didn't know you was a big ranch guy. I love ranch. It's my favorite fries. Do you eat ranch? Yeah, but not on, I mean, regular on everything. That's what I'm excited about. I'm gonna dig into a taco first. Oh. I've been trying to do eggs and algae. You can't beat it after my taco. What can you be like? We'll just eat. And you eat them dry? Yeah. So I get blowjob dry. Alright. So that's what we my coffee next time for the ranch. Have you had that ranch? Oh my god. That'll change your life. What? It's almost as good as your whole life. I'm not kidding. Stick your damn taco in there. Well, we'll steal your ranches. I can share. Let me have a little bit now. Same team, the famous buttermilk ranch dip. And if you oversold it, I'll tell you. Because I love ranch. I didn't. That is every fast food ranch man. It's got proprietary blend of spices. Okay. This looks disgusting. Red hot. Yeah, I'm not eating that. Red hot. Look at that. Hot. Egg roll. Is it hot? Super hot? No, hot. I'm gonna eat my egg roll. I'm back home. You gotta have the sweet and sour with the egg rolls. You gotta have the sweet and sour with the egg rolls. There they are. See them?
Get ready with me while I explain to you what my last month's been like.
Good. I'm gonna have to put in the title mystery guest so nobody can recognize it. Everybody's gonna say, who's that? Who's that? And you're like, talking, they're gonna say, that's Andy. That guy. Taco Bout delicious. Taco Bout. And this has, you know, meat, cheese, and lettuce. And that's all you need. Put it in a deep fryer and send it out the door. You don't need nothing else. And you think you do, you know. Is this authentic Mexican taco? No. No. Do I give a damn? No. Oh, that was bad. Alright. Oh, we have barbecue sauce with the hot chicken strips. And don't forget, we got questions. Getting it in here. Look at it. So here's the hot chicken strips. Spicy.
It's saucy.
Ouais, je vais la vider cette semaine, puis je la vide, puis je la nettoie. On fait ça, c'est sûr que d'ici mercredi, ça va être fait. Que ce soit fait, la première. Et puis, c'est parce que je ne peux pas faire ça tout seul. Je veux une aide. Fait qu'on va faire ça en fin de semaine.
Not really.
De l'aide. On va se mettre ensemble pour le faire.
I mean, she got a little cake, but. Huh. It's not that
Ça
too.
va de place. Parce que un pompe l'eau, puis l'autre va tenir l'affaire. Fait que c'est ça, on va vider ça de même. On vide pas ça à la chaudière. Rien, c'est qui ça peut faire.
Snoop Dogg.
Je vais partir la tienne pour les petits enfants, pour vrai.
Hey, Mr. Dog. I don't know if you knew this, but they are using your name to sell food boxes at Jack in the Box. I would see. Sit. Sit. No, he deserves to know. Let's ask him using my name to sell boxes of food. Mm-hmm.
Curly fries, egg roll, taco, and breakfast sandwich. And a Sonic soda.
Then I give my credit card.
It ain't that bad? Oh, Jesus.
I'm missing them.
You can't be heck of a baby, so.
Oh, I'm not mad at all. She's mad.
I'm mad at the administration.
I'm at corporate. I'm mad at Jack in the Box corporate. And I will be writing a letter. Not about the store, not about those employees, but I'm going to tell them I don't like them using celebrity names to sell boxes of food. Without them knowing.
Without their prior written consent.
All right, this is my sausage, egg, cheese, croissant, okay?
Croissant?
And this is what I like.
No way.
A little bit of grape jelly on there. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Damn. That's what you get. That's the number one right there, baby.
I like to give it head.
That's the only way to do it.
I got the ultimate cheeseburger. And I like to get it because I hate a wrap around it. So you don't get it on your shirt.
That's smart.
You already have tons of meat on my shirt. Look at it, it's the ultimate. Yeah.
I need to look back here more.
You just have to double check your bag.
Yeah. Now, would I order this without the grape jelly? No.
So if they sold your trashy Tammy's particular box, do you have to put a thing about must eat the grape jelly?
Yeah. It'd be served with grape jelly. And if I pulled up the Jack in the Box and I saw my face on that menu without my consent, I'd be tweeting corporate. I wouldn't send them a private letter. I'd be making it public. Making TikToks and all kinds of shit.
Oh, that'd get stuff done.
Exactly.
Because they don't want no bad social media.
Right. Or I'll do it.
Making money off your name? I don't think so.
Oh! Absolutely not. My lid busted off. Got me a chair limeade. Oh, damn, this is good.
I'm trying to see what to eat next.
You hit the spot on this. You really did. You said you wanted Jack in the Box. I said, all right.
I'll be crazy. This shake. When I say this is the best shake I've ever got for a fast food restaurant, I ain't joking. But it tastes like ice cream.
And that's not something you joke about.
I'll joke about a lot of stuff. You want to do a question?
Oh, no.
They're probably in your phone. You want me to
Oh,
I can send them to you.
I did. You want to ask that one?
I will, yeah. Tammy, Crystal, did either of y'all have an emo face?
Oh. Well, I did, that's for sure. You want to see my phone one? I'll do it.
I should be walking around the house. I'm so sad. I'm excited now. I'm gonna do, you know, I'm gonna cut my skin.
No, I'll just say that. I'll just say that, you know?
You had a hair, you know, angle over here like this.
I did.
I'm so sad. You know, just walk around saying, I'm so sad. Just 1 second, you're in the room laughing, carry on.
Oh, I wasn't sad at all. I just had to say that, you know? Yes, everybody's doing it.
I did not. I had a shot face.
You did.
Which is kind of the same, but different.
Hers was a little more morbid. She put spells on people and kind of do something like that.
I had a fake girl like wear on my shoulder.
Yeah. I remember that bird. These were some good times. You got kicked out of church.
You know, when about 6 months. I couldn't keep up with that lifestyle, you know?
Yeah.
Because I was a heavy person. I had to walk around, you know, being doom and doom all the time, saying, I'm warning you, I'll put an X on you.
Yeah. Everybody she came in contact with, people scared of her right now.
And I think black eyeliners would all underneath my eyes.
Yeah, you would. She would. We gotta find the picture.
I was listening exclusively to the Cure.
Where that is.
And I thought, what am I doing this for? For somebody or trying to get a guy's boyfriend? And I thought, I'm just not doing this no more.
It don't make no sense, you know? It really don't. It really don't.
Your president wants
Whoa.
Canada. We gotta make it very.
You just gotta do whatever popular, you know?
Well, that's what
Sí, güey, sí, sí,
I would do whatever the heck you want.
We start the trends. The trends start with us.
What the hell?
The gas station will be sold out of.
Yep.
They're gonna walk in the gas station. I need some of them white candy glasses. They'll say, where on that order?
We're sold out.
You should start selling them at your show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
So get some Tammy sunglasses. Because if you see a person in those glasses, it tells me hard worker, down to business, no frills, down to earth,
Generous lover.
generous lover. That's what them glasses tell.
Yeah. Woo. Now get full. Oh.
My 6-year-old wants to know if y'all enjoy a good snow cone. Snow cone and what flavor? You're probably talking about what you watch this. So say that for lawyer purposes.
For legal purposes, we can't be consumed. Okay. I don't like a good snow cone. You know, I'm not obsessed with the snow cone like some people. But when I go, my go-to flavor is banana.
Oh,
Or tiger blood.
nice. Level 7.
You are.
Rank 10, actually. I'm gonna end up here. We have to continue later on. Don't Link, it's your boy Ink. Welcome. Don't Link. Oh, that's not good. Okay. Oh, guess what? Yeah. Okay. Guess what? Sorry, guys. We fucked it up. That's actually a good idea. Okay, good. Don't Link, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the show. Hope you're doing well. Having a wonderful day on this 10th April 25. We just popped a an infected finger, which was feeling really good. Thank God you didn't see this because there was a lot of juice that popped off. Today we're doing a tower talk. Right, so for doing the tower talk, let's play with the tower. We've been doing really good with tower. Technically speaking, we've been really killing the game. So let's check out, well, first of all, let's check out what we got on this 10th of April. So the Champions League, we got to rank 20. So not great. However, we've been reaching level 20. It completely changed the crown. Now, technically speaking, I don't remember what we did last time, so maybe this is a repeated video. I hope it's not. We have the Platinum League with Finish, the Sword. Platinum League, we finished at rank 10, which is great because we're getting 200 gem and 60 stones. Right? Now, we're gonna do the shield. I don't know why the shield didn't show up automatically. We ended up rank 16, which is also super good. That is pretty much it. Now, what changed? It's actually quite simple. The guild has been really helping me out with advice. For example, understanding that the chain lightning was the best ultimate weapon, but more than that, understanding that doing longer waves was better in the long run, but more than that. For example, right? Technically speaking, right? Of course, we're making more money at tier 9 for the sword and the shield, and more money at tier 11 for the crown. But at the same time, we're making a lot more elite and a lot more Mojul. So the Mojul and the elite is gonna be good because we kind of need them. First of all, but second of all, it's also the fact that we have. What the heck? What the heck? That's the weirdest thing that ever happened. That is the weirdest thing that ever happened. How the heck did this happen? Don't Link, it's your Wink. Welcome to the show. This is Wong. We're having a wonderful day on this 10th April 2025. We are playing 3 times the tower. We got a beautiful sunrise behind me. We are doing a tower talk. Now, technically speaking, there's not a lot that change for this, right? But still, so the first thing that we want to watch is the ranking. This is my second time doing this video, so I know exactly the ranking. We got to rank 20 in champion, right? Right now we're doing is gonna be uploading clips. So rank 20 in champion for crown, rank 16 for shield and plat, and we got to rank 10 in plat for the sword. So we're not really seeing a huge plus or huge influx on the playthrough when it comes to because that's probably the best way to see that you're progressing, right? The tournaments, because this is a way of saying, okay, well, I got this and I need to do something else, etc. So that we are getting some, if not a lot, of progress is always going to be super cool. What changed is thanks to the guild. The guild has been super helpful because people are really there for each other. Like, of course, it's biased. So for example, we got this guy called Falcon, and Falcon is super helpful. However, Falcon right now is focused on his wall, so he constantly talks about the walls. For somebody else, people would be like, no, you know what? I don't need to increase my walls right now. But for him, that's important. The other information I got was, for example, how good Chain Lightning was, and I never realized how good Chain Lightning was. People have been telling me that Chain Lightning and Chrono Field are 2 of the best, and it's something that surprised me because I would have never guessed. best guess, a little bit of a rhyme here. So they also told me that we've been doing really good for the longer run. So for example, we're still in run number 1 and run number 1 for shield and sword, and run number 9 and crown. Now, if we want to do a maximum cash, I would go rank number 9, and rank number 11 on here to make the most coin possible. However, we're getting some really good coin at the very end, right? Which is a blessing. We're still at a point where it's reasonable. Like if I do a tier 1, it takes me 7 hours. That's really reasonable. Also, it's a good thing because right now we're looking for a job. We're really looking for a job. So it's a great thing because 8 hours is my shift. So if I can last more than 8 hours, I got a complete shift, right? Which is great. That being said, because there is something that we have to have, we're not making that much when it comes to coin. So it's a bit of a problem. I'm gonna be honest and say, especially with the sword, because the sword we should be making more. The sword I'm making. Look, the sword I'm making. We just started rank tier 1. We're making 223 kilo K or 2,000 per minute, and the sword, which is at the shield, which is 973. There's a lot of difference though. It's at 159. But if we were starting, the shield would be a lot more. The shield we have 40,000 billion. The sword we have 4.5. So it's a problem. However, we're getting a lot of elite in module. So I noticed that my 2 weakest thing were module for both the shield and the sword. We don't have the module. We didn't upgrade the module, which is because the module in itself, they're important, but. They're important, yes, but if I had to choose between buying a card slot, or module, I would buy a card slot, right? We bought the 5 lab, which was the most important thing, and then we're trying to buy every single card slot, and then thankfully to the event, we're getting buy 40 card every single event or not. There's about 80 card per week. If there's 500 cards in the game for now, that is around so it's around 7 weeks. It's around 7 events, which is 14 weeks, which is 3 months and a half, right? So that's nothing. So that being said, also we're getting more of the elite cell, which is really cool because we're catching up, right? So technically speaking, right, the sword and the shield will never be as good as the crown because the crown has more ultimate weapon. But with the lab, because of the elite cell, I'll be able to catch up. There's gonna be a level where they're similar. So even if they're not similar, the sword and the shield will take a lot less time. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to upgrade everything with shield, with sword and shield. So what we're trying to do, honestly, and that's a bit of a complicated task, but we're trying to upgrade maximum all of the attack upgrade because I decided to do something, and that something is kind of crazy. I'm gonna be able to do the labs for technically speaking, I won't be able to do labs for attack. I will not be able to do labs for attack. I will not be able to do attack speed, or in this one, for health regen. But something like a wall I could do. Something like no, I'll leave it like that, right? I'll leave it like that. But there's gonna be a level where I don't have anything to upgrade for defense anymore, and that's gonna be the time where we decide, okay, well, we're upgrade for defense or upgrade for attack. What do we do now, right? And I have 2 choices. Either this is way down the line, or this is actually quite nearby. This is quite close, right? And I would prefer to be close because then I'll really have time to do the schedule. I didn't think about that, but it's an eventuality that all of the 3 playthrough are gonna be the same thing. We're already having a huge problem with shield, and that huge problem is that I have both inner landmine and black hole, where there's 2 gold, right? So they're almost completely upgraded. So now I'm gonna buy some new ultimate weapon. But ultimately speaking, all 3 playthrough in the long run will have D12 ultimate, D9 ultimate weapon, right? They'll have the 9 ultimate weapon first of all. Second of all, they'll have field. So we're gonna have to do something because this is death. And in a lot of ways, this is death in the sense of, okay, well, we are at a level where I can't upgrade anything else, right? So what do we do? And right now, we're doing this. We're doing this more and more. Bonjour. Ça va bien? Oui, merci. So that's what we're gonna be doing, and it's amazing because we're super close to that. Why am I saying super close to it? It's because I'm at a year and a half on the crown. That's my neighbor. I'm a year and a half on the crown, and I'm 6 months in both. Right? No, that's not true. I'm gonna be 2 years soon. In July 13. Today is this is the 10th of April. So April, May, which is my 4th year as a content creator. May, I'm in May, June, July. So in 4 months, I'm gonna be reaching 2 years. And in 6 months, I did way more than the first year. So we're really trying to figure out what is up, right? And we'll see how it goes. We'll see exactly how it goes. I'm excited for that. Anyway, I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. The link is your link. Welcome to the conversation. If anyone wants to have a wonderful day, just talk to my wonderful neighbor. Super nice talk. It's really morning, so a simple hi, how are you is good. But still, if I'm getting able to talk, is it nice? I want to show you the setup of the day. So we have my coffee, we have something to taste. I got a tower, I got clips uploading, and we have the wonderful sunrise. There's still some snow, which is really nice. That will be gone today. So early birds get the worm. Two. Don't blink, kiss your blink. Welcome to the content show. Everything wants to have a wonderful day. We're ready to go, so we're gonna be starting to film with this phone. I'm gonna have a wonderful day of content creation. It's gonna be really nice, and that is pretty much it. So enjoy. Nice. Okay, perfect. Let's freaking go. Okay, let's go. Oh, nice. So what is the first one? Maybe the road is here. Okay, good. Don't blink, yes you blink. Welcome to their show. We're also having a wonderful day on this 10th April 2025. Today we're going to be doing a couple of videos. We're going to be having a lot of fun. We have so much content to do. Plus we have to upload some clips, so looking forward to the rest of the day. But let's start it with a little bit of a sweetness, a little bit of a sugar, a little bit of a little treat to start the day. And that little treat is maple spread. So this is a maple butter. As you guys know, I'm Canadian. So if I can enforce a couple of stereotypes, right, I'll do it. What stereotype do I want to enforce? We love snow. We love poutine, and we're fervent maple eater. Yeah, there's a lot of other things that I can't think about anything right now. So instead of thinking, instead of tasting, they both start with a T, and they both end with an H. I have an inkling that it's gonna be fun. So maple butter is in itself, you guys understood butter in itself, right? It's supposed to be a really nice texture for the butter. It's supposed to be really nice on toast. I do not like it on toast, because I do feel like it's a bit too sweet. Like even Nutella on toast. It's a bit too sweet, so if you casual butter, do the butter normally, and then infuse it with the syrup, maple syrup. And the maple syrup itself has a really nice quality to it. Because when you look at it, right, it almost gives this consistency of caramel, right? But it's maple syrup. So why we got that is because, and this is the craziest thing. This is the craziest thing. So how do you make caramel? Technically speaking, caramel is main two ingredients: butter and sugar. We'll be adding cream. We'll be adding sea salt. I do like the casual butter and sugar. This is actual butter. There's just dairiness, there's also this fattiness to it. Now the maple syrup is extremely sweet. So you kind of have this caramel texture because it's the same ingredient as caramel. Without further ado, let's look at this, let's go here, let's just taste it. And this is the, it really sounds like most people taste. If you're Canadian, it tastes like maple on ice. With such a creaminess in it. And it's quite nice. It's nice because I know it's supposed to be spread, but to me it really tastes creamy, right? It almost tastes like a, it's like a, I don't know how you call it in English. It's like a sugar brown. It doesn't have maple, so it's really nice. It reminds me about myself, about my childhood a lot. It's nuts. I told you guys about this story before a million times, but I'm gonna say it again. I love my father, right? But he wasn't the best cook. My father, and I don't repeat myself, and if you hear the story, I'm sorry. If you didn't hear the story, I'm not sorry. My father was a dude that's very simple man. I don't care about what I'm eating. I don't like eating. I need to eat. As a child, I ate baked potato, and ham. One of them I can't remember. Right? Now, when we go to the Sugar Shack, which is classic in French, there was a lot of meal on the table, but it was mostly the Sugar Shack are supposed to be this experience, this Canadian experience of what it was like back in the days where maple was like gold, right? And it's nuts because I'll have to check the story of maple. Maple syrup, and that could be a good video. It could be a cool video to do, as a Canadian. But you go there, and it's really simplistic. So you'll get delicious omelets, you'll get little sausage, you'll get beans, which I don't like, and you'll get ham, which I don't like. So I would eat my fill with omelets, right? Now my favorite thing was oreilles, which was little teas of fried lard, and I would like that so much I would fill my pocket with lard. But it was very salty, very salty, and I would go there to get maple. And since there was this kind of rule at my father's place where I was not allowed sugar, right? So the maple syrup, I would get myself to a point where I was sick because I know I wouldn't have some till the next year. So it's kind of crazy cool. It's kind of amazing. And that is the beauty. So yeah, this is delicious. I love this. Don't blink. It's your boy Angel. Welcome to the Cup Show. We're going to be also having a wonderful day on this 10th April 2025. Today we're talking about a subject that's a sensitive subject. You could even call it making myself vulnerable, because the subject of the video is being vulnerable. Before we start, let me flex a little bit. Uploading clips, filming tower, right? The tower. So yeah, so we're doing good. We're busy, but we're doing good. So today we're talking about vulnerability, and there's a very specific reason as this, right? Now, it's the economy right now is not bad, but with the old tariff of USA, a lot of people are worried. A lot of places might be closing, you know, and the economic situation isn't perfect. So there's a lot of worry here, right? Now, my mom, and this is going to be a blueprint as to who I am. My mom is very helpful. My mom always has this desire to help. I cannot tell my mom if she want to help. I cannot tell her no. Because she'll push, she'll insist to a point where she's gonna get into a fight because I don't accept her help, right? So when I do with my mom, and again, people will say, oh, you're trying to manipulate your own mother. I'm not trying to. With my mom, what I'm gonna try to do is, I know that she wants to help, so I'm gonna tell her, hey, you can help with this and this and this, and it's gonna be little things, but she still feels like she's helpful, right? Now, my father, they both have such a different ideology, if you will, to raise a child. Okay, let's work a little bit. My father was really hands off. I was born in the 90s. The 90s were fucking amazing. It was about discovering self and being on your own and kind of navigating through life, through it. The 90s were possibly the very first generation raised by TV, you know, and that's insane to think about, because like right now we're seeing an influx in the number of mobile games there is, right? We're seeing a huge influx. In the 90s, people understood that, okay, well, there's a lot of money to be made by making kid shows, because we got memorabilia, we got some gifts, we got some shows, we got some. For example, I think about a D's Sister per X. We're talking about something like Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh was super profitable because of the show, right? If it wasn't for the show, we wouldn't give a shit about Yu-Gi-Oh. And I mean disrespectfully, of course. So now, what ended up happening, which was kind of crazy cool, was language. Okay. The whole social aspect to it changed. My father was like, okay, well, guess what? I was raised that way, you'll be okay. And my father had it hard because he was the oldest kid of 6 siblings, and his father wasn't reliable. So even at a very young age, he would run after me. And my father was a weird guy. He was like, you're gonna be doing the same thing that I do, but I had the TV. He didn't. My father was a really weird guy in a sense of, there was a lot of instances where, how can I say that? There's a lot of instances where there could have been some consequences, or it could have been rougher, and he wasn't. So, you know, he could have said, hey, do the chores, make a chores, but he didn't do the chores, and I don't know why. Maybe he didn't believe in it, maybe he had a childhood where the chores were too much for him. Like, I'm not going to my own son, but it wasn't the case. However, my father would also do things like, okay, well, you were bad, go into your room. But in my room, and this was something I never understood. I never understood. He would tell me, you've been a bad boy, go to your room. But in my room, you would have everything. You would have radio, you would have music. Well, we're doing the same thing, you have books, right? I had anything and everything in my room. There was even a pantry with food. So if I was hungry, I could get a snack, you know? So why did he send me to my room when I like it so much? Well, because for him, it was the perfect compromise. I was still being in a place where I was being taught a lesson, but it wasn't something that was too rough for a kid, right? And it was nice because, you know, there was a leniency. There was a leniency in the righteousness. There was a leniency, and I'll show you what. He was an asshole, but he wasn't that big of an asshole, you know? As far as he was an asshole, right? Growing up, I was afraid of him. He was an asshole, but as far as assholes go, he was a pretty soft one. That sounded so wrong, and I do apologize for the imagery. So, long story short, he's more of an end-off, and lately he's been helping me a lot. And his way of helping is actually weird. He'll give me like a coffee cake and say, hey, I got this for you. He'll give me some sausage from Costco because they're on special. They're not on special. Say, hey, I thought about you. You know, he's been helping me a lot. Now, technically speaking, right, I'm getting both my parents to help. Technically speaking, with you guys, we're one with the weight loss, we're doing more live, and people are super generous. I'm relying on you guys, and yesterday we did a video, and this is kind of like a follow-up. We did a video on being alone and the need to socialize, right? Well, when you don't have a need to socialize, when you're independent, right? When you're alone, the first thing that you learn is to be independent. When you're independent, the first thing you learn is to rely on yourself, right? So you're not used to it. It's not kindness, but you're not used to being helped. And it's a beautiful thing because you're not used to being helped because people don't see you as needing help, right? And it's funny, I met a girl. That was almost a year ago. I met a girl, and we met in a life, in somebody else's life, and then she would come to my life. But then I had this guilt because I was like, yo, this guy, when we met, let's call him X. We met on X's stream. X was streaming. And I'm like, dude, he's streaming. Why don't you go to his life, right? And I felt bad because he works so hard to get the view that he has. And I'm like, okay. And then she's like, yeah, but you're different. And I'm like, how am I different? You constantly need help. So you don't need help. You get along with yourself. You get shit done on yourself. And other kind of pride to me, you know? Be independent. All those nights where I was alone. And I don't know if, and I'm not saying that he did, but there was a sense of pride my father knew. And he could not necessarily manipulate me, but he could make me think at least that there's kind of pride to take yourself, care of yourself, right? It was nice. It was such a beautiful thing because he would go to work a lot and I would be on my own at home and I would watch TV, eat snacks. It was great. But it was also like, you know, I was permitted more when I was alone. But it was also there was also a kind of a limit, right? Kind of a limit to how much I could get done or do. And was thinking like, you took care of yourself, good job. Which didn't say a lot. But it felt really special, right? But now, I don't know if they're helping me because they see me as being vulnerable. Now, being vulnerable, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But I always feel bad about it. For example, tomorrow is my father's birthday. Tomorrow's my father's birthday, and they're going out to a restaurant. And my stepmom, she called me and she's like, yo, I'll pay for you. Come, I'll pay for you. Now, I'm super grateful for that. I'm like, I feel bad because I feel like I'm getting offended with you. I'm so used to doing things on my own. I'm so used to not getting help. And when I do get help, it feels very disingenuous. When I do get help, it feels very like, dude, you don't need to do that, right? And it's almost to a point where I don't acknowledge that I need help, right? And it's a classic case of, well, I didn't realize how hurt I was before I saw the wound. didn't realize how fat I was until I was forced to climb the stairs, right? And you realize things, and you're like, okay, well, is this how you see me? As someone that needs help? Is this the way that everybody sees me? And again, there's nothing wrong with needing help, right? But there is something wrong with taking advantage of people. There is something wrong with constantly asking for help. And I don't, you know, it's hard for me. So yes, there's this new reality right now where we're feeling vulnerable because people might possibly see us as vulnerable. And it's insane because this is all a construct. It's all a construct of the mind. It's all a construct of, well, if you see me like that, maybe I am. You know? And I don't think that's true. I don't think that this is something that's even remotely possible. Of course, there's instances of, well, you could have done better. Of course, there's instances of, well, you could have done things differently. There's always going to be the instances of, you could have took another road, right? But in the end, you're here. And it's such a complicated context. I've always had this problem. When somebody does something nice for me, I feel the obligation to do something nice for them. So I stopped doing nice things for people. Because I was like, I don't want you to feel obligated. That I don't want you to feel like you owe me something because you don't. But then people would do it out of the kindness of their heart. Like, no, bro, I know I don't owe you anything. I'm just doing this because I want to. And I was like, wow, it's actually quite nice. It's actually quite kind, right? But at the same time, you're like, fuck it, now you did something nice for me. I want to do something nice for you. So did I stop recording? Please don't. Yes, I am recording. Nice. When someone does something nice for me, I feel like it's a weird thing because do I think I need some help? No. Do I think I could get on my own just fine? Yes. But it's a complex thing because some people do something nice for you, and then you feel that you should be doing something nice for them. You're not able to because you don't have the means to help them, right? Or you're in a position where, compared to them, in a bad position. Good. Okay, that's good. Well, she just texted me and said, hey. I said I didn't. So she texted me and said, hey, I'll pay for you. Now, technically speaking, and I know this is super wrong, this is super mean, but she's my stepmom. We're not related, right? If my father did that, I would say anything for her. I'm like, I feel a bit, not really uncomfortable, but not really comfortable with the situation, right? So it's weirdly vulnerable. And it's a nice thing that. What's the nicest thing about making content for 4 years is, and making content every single day for 4 years is, you guys know me, you guys see me, you guys know I react. So I don't think there's been a lot of cases where I needed some help. I don't think there's a lot of cases where I was being vulnerable. There's some cases, of course. I think if you spend 4 years and there's nothing wrong with you, then you're hiding shit, But at the same time, it's always the case of, we were down and we got back up. And now, the truth is, I don't know what's going to happen. So I might not be vulnerable, and I may not be in a position where I'm in distress, or I'm in a position where I'm so worried about everything and anything, right? But I'm also in a position where I'm starting to feel like, okay, well, there's a couple of things that you could change, And it sucks. It sucks because nobody wants to admit that they need help, right? I'm seeing a person. I'm not gonna say who, because I don't want to throw her under the bus, but I'm seeing her, right? And it's actually quite a nice thing to talk about vulnerable. I didn't think about this before we made the video, but now I'm thinking about it. And she's always posting about how she doesn't like the way she looks. She doesn't like life. She's sad. She's anxious, right? And she's nice to me, so I felt bad for her. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? You doing okay? Are you feeling good? And she's like, yeah, sure. And I was like, she put a video, and she's like, oh, I don't like the way I look. I said, and I told her, I think you look fine. I think you look amazing. And she was like, I don't agree. And then I saw it as she needs reassurance, right? Because I had exes like that. Now, just to be clear, there's no romantic interest towards this person, right? But it's also nuts because how can I put this into words? I was trying to, and I had to insist a little bit. And she kept on telling me, no. After 4 or 5 comments I gave up, I'm like, fuck, if you don't want me to help you out, I'm going to help you out, right? And then the very next day, she made another video where she said, I don't like the way I look. And now I didn't comment because I'm like, dude, you're not going to take the help. But maybe it wasn't about me trying to help her. Maybe it wasn't about what I was saying. Maybe it was about the fact that she didn't think that she needed help. Or she didn't want to admit that she needed help, That's completely different. That is completely different. Yeah, it's amazing. Life is amazing. Life is the percentage of people. Being vulnerable, we also see people vulnerable, right? And then there's another question. Are you helping people because you feel like you need help yourself? Are you helping people and the hope they will help you back? Or are you helping people because you can't help yourself? And those 2 cases, you're in a position of, I don't know. That's a scary thing. That is a scary thing. That is exactly what is here about this. Anyway, love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. Don't link, it's your boy Nick, and welcome to the Commentary Show. It's been having a wonderful day on this 10th, April 25. We're filming the nature, we're filming the tower, we're uploading videos, and we're filming the tower here. So quite a busy morning, but we're doing okay, we're doing fantastic. I want to talk about a video that I did yesterday, and that video was the need to socialize. And I was watching this video because, again, it was taking some, I was watching this video again because I deleted TikTok. Because TikTok has a tendency to take a lot of place. And TikTok, when you boot it up, if your video file is too long, like you guys know that I do some long ass videos, those videos will take a while to upload. So the first one I had to do yesterday, the first one I went to upload was the video that needs to socialize, right? And I did the whole video, and I don't usually listen to my own video, but I did, and I need to rectify something. And it's actually a really good thing. It's actually a really, really positive thing. Yesterday I was talking about how I feel like, okay, well, I'm ready to have more friends. Okay, I feel like I'm ready to date, right? And something extremely amazing happened. There's evolution there at the same time. Like, there's a couple of years, even when I started the other job, I was willing to take any form. And when I say any, I mean any form of friendship or any form of affection because there was so little in my life, right? Now we're able to say, like, for example, right? I had a TikTok live about 2 days ago, and there was 2 trolls, right? And they were both assholes, and I did say that in the stream. And then I was in a really good mood because I just worked out. So like, dude, I'm exhausted. You're not gonna make me tired. I'm exhausted. You're not gonna get me mad, right? There's no way you're gonna get mad. I'm too tired to be mad, right? And then when the guy saw that I wasn't reacting, and I made one of the troll laugh, and the troll became nice, right? And there was another troll who was constantly pushing the envelope, pushing to get a reaction. And then the funny thing is, I speak French, yeah, and this guy didn't. One of my mod, that Jordan, was in my chat, and she knew that he wasn't speaking in French, so she came to me in French. She's like, "Yo, go ahead, there. It's a fucking dumbass, right?" And I'm like, "Let him go." And then I was insulting him in French, which probably should have done. But then again, the guy was trolling for multiple, I would say 20 minutes, right? And constantly spamming. And then the guy who warmed up to me was like, "How did you call me?" Because I called the two of them dumbass. And they're both dumb. If you're trolling someone, you're dumbass. Why are you doing that? But at the same time, it's funny because the guy who warmed up to me is like, he got offended. He said, "What do you mean? I thought we were cool." I said, "Dude, you came in to troll. That you like me now. It's not this. If you didn't like me, you would still be trolling, you know? So that's your problem. That's not my problem, right?" And I remember time like I said yesterday, where I would took anybody, they troll, if they were not nice, I would took them to my street. I would took them into the content because I was so lonely, but also I felt like I needed so much. See, yesterday we did also a video which was called Why Aren't We Giving Up, right? And the simple fact where I don't feel as deep diving into the content creation as I was, the simple factor of, okay, well, I want to content create. It's still to the degree where it's healthy, right? Still to the degree where, okay, we did this, we did that. It's healthy. Let's move on and we'll see how it goes in the next years. So for example, next year, there'll be a lot less content being made. I wasn't going to be seeing how the channel grow. Or the video that I did last year or this year, are there enough to make the channel grow? Or are we going to have to wait until we have a little break to make some more content, right? And rectify the shot. It's like, the way I see it, and I was talking to Shao yesterday, one of my best friend, and Shao is a huge fan of sports. And he was talking about basketball, right? And then he was saying that he was playing the most. He was playing 20 minutes on the court, 20 minutes, right? And then they still lost. And then he was really about that, and I was like, dude, how much did other people play? And then he told me the people and how much time they played. And it was this guy who played for 12 minutes, right? And I'm like, probably not the person who played 22 minutes. Did their best. They had the person that did 18 minutes and didn't do enough. No, it's a team effort. It's a team sport. The world doesn't fall upon your shoulder, bro. It does feel like that sometimes. And he mentioned it to me, right? So I'm like, don't do that, bro. And then with the content creation, since I'm taking a step back from this obsession, right? Which is a great thing, thank God. I hope you guys are happy, right? With the obsession of making content. We're in a really, really cool position, but also a really weird one where I'm like, even if I don't get views or comments, I don't really mind. So when the guy came to troll, I was in a position of, yo, I need to win them over. I'm like, if you like me, fine. If you don't like me, fuck you. I don't care, right? And I know that's not nice to say, but at the same time, I'm not gonna kiss somebody's ass. They like me if I don't need to, you know? I'll kiss my boss's ass because I need to, because it pays the bill. You're not paying the bills. You're not doing shit for me. If you're nice, the simple fact of you being nice to me, or a nice guy, right? Is enough. Yesterday we had a TikTok live, right? And we had somebody, and she came in, and started to talk about something, right? And I could see she had a hard time explaining herself. I'm like, hey, did you want by any chance, do you want to go in the corner? And she's like, yes, please. Right? And then she came to the corner, and then she ended up saying, and then I was saying, thank you. She's like, why are you thanking me? Dude, thanks to you, the content is better. Right? You did something for me, and she's like, oh, okay. She didn't need to do much. The little she did was a lot for me, you know? I think this is important. So where are we going with that? There's actually a big evolution in the psyche that we have right now. And this big evolution in the psyche that I have right now is how desperate we are for human connection. Yesterday, I was talking about how I would love to have more human connection, but not to a level where it's unhealthy. Like you're open-minded to make some new relationship, but not to a degree where, okay, well, I need to. I would like, but I don't need to. I would like, but it's not an obligation. I would like, but I won't die if I don't do it, you know? So it's a really nice thing. And as I was saying, lately, I put myself out there more romantically, right? And there's a point in my life where I would go on Badoo or on Tinder. I would get one match, right? Okay, so we didn't get a lot of matches, but still. And because we would not get a lot of matches, the match that we did get, we would go, not obsessive over it, but I was like, holy shit, I need to make this work, right? Because this is the only match I had today. I need to make this work. And I was willing to make extra effort. And to someone I didn't really like, because I was so desperate, right? And that was bad. That was bad. But then, was it bad, or do you understand the need for socialization? Do you understand the reason why we do it? Did you agree with the reason that we're doing it? Right? That's not necessarily the action that you did, is the fact that we understand, right? That's important. That is important because your complete psyche change. Your complete psyche change. Okay, well, we did this and this and this is why. Well, I understand the reason as to why, or I think he's an asshole. I understand the reason as to why, okay, I can forget the why. Right? So it's a great thing. It's a great thing. You talk about being vulnerable, right? There's a video on that. Now, the video about being vulnerable. When I feel vulnerable, when I let people in, or is my guard up? Right? And that's not the true question. Because the true question is, some people you'll let in, some people you won't. And that's where things are different. It's not necessarily about, oh, I let you in. It's about why I let you in. And why I let you in, but I didn't let the other person in. Because I know that I can trust you or you can help versus somebody that I would have asked and they didn't really care. Right? I had this, it's funny. This morning we had a conversation with the neighbor that are sharing the balcony with me. And they're super kind. Super kind. And we never talk because, again, it's a very individualistic society. Canada is, so we don't talk. And this morning, we simply said good morning, right? It was nice. And then there's other neighbors that I don't like at all. He's judgmental, he thinks he's above everybody else. He makes a joke about everybody else. You know, he's not insulting, but passive aggressive, right? And about 3 weeks ago, he comes in. And he gave me shit. I don't remember as to why he gave me shit. And he's insisting. And I was listening to him. I was standing still as he was giving me shit. And then it hit me. You're not my fucking dad. Who are you to me? You're living in the same building and you're not even a neighbor. I don't have to listen to you. So I just left. I just left. And then he ran after me. He was like, hey, I'm talking to you. I looked at him and I said, I don't care. No, was that nice of me? No, of course not. But this guy allowed himself to be mean to me because I allowed it. The bully that I had for years at work was my fault. We didn't put some boundaries. We didn't tell him stop it. We didn't tell him, hey, I'm not doing that. We're just fucking pouting. We're just fucking, oh, I don't like that. You're not gonna change shit by doing that, right? You're not gonna change shit. I allow that. Another reason why I allow it is because I had so little interaction that I was like, okay, well, if the shitty interaction is an interaction, right? It's the simple fact, it's the simple concept of a good deed. So people will go in and say, okay, well, I want to do a good deed every single day, right? So you go in, so then you do a good deed. Who the fuck are you to say, hey, this person deserves a good deed and this person doesn't? Who the fuck are you to say, I'm only gonna do one nice thing per day? Doesn't make any fucking sense, you know? It's just stupid fucking societal norms that are outdated and baseless. So yeah, so I was proud of myself yesterday because those shows came in and I wasn't mad. Well, it wasn't yesterday, it was the day before. I wasn't mad. I would react to it. I wasn't mad. I was like, you know what? This is the first time in so long that they came, right? And of course I felt bad because I didn't insult the guy who became nice. But at the same time, this person wasn't nice to begin with. Wasn't nice. You came in with bad intention. You left with good intention. That's cool. But you came in with bad intention. And I've been having this huge problem for the last year or 2 years. I've been having this ultimate issue as to where I do not know how to react with people. I don't know how to be social. The reality is I know how to be social. Right? I do know how. I can be very kind, I can be very nice. The problem is I was being kind and nice to everybody. So then everybody takes a little bit out of you. They take a little bit out of you. They take a little bit out of you. And then when the people that deserve it, your real friend, they come in and say, hey, can you be nice to me? I'm like, oh, sorry, the bank is closed because I gave out all the kindness. Oh wait, who's the asshole here? You. Even though you were nice to other people, you're still the asshole because those friends are there for you. You weren't there for them. Now, being exhausted is not an excuse because you chose to be exhausted, right? You chose to be exhausted. If I was able to say, you know what? I don't know you. Like there's this person, right? And she came in, and I didn't even know her. I thought about this person a lot. Well, not a lot, but still. And she came in and she was like, hey, you should put some hashtag on your video. And I was like, you're absolutely right. I should do that. And then the next day, she came back to me and we talked. And this time we just talked about life. I was like, okay, it's cool. And then the third day, I was like, she came back to talk to me in a row. And I'm like, listen, I actually thought you were a dog. I don't know you. We don't know each other. We're not friends. You're very kind, but I don't know you. Now that was an asshole move, but at the same time, it's true. And she took it the wrong way. The reality is, you're not gonna get along with everybody, or you're not supposed to be friends with everybody. She was super kind, but then I didn't want it to become like this super important thing, right? I don't know why. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did that. See, the guy we blocked yesterday because he was self-serving. We did block him, but how many weeks when we met him and we knew he was not a good person? How many weeks did we let him in our lives and our content? Or what? Why did we do that? You know? I don't know. Anyway, love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. Don't blink, it's your blink. Welcome to the controversial. Thanks for doing well to have a wonderful day on this 10th April 2025. Tomorrow's my dad's birthday. Today we're going to be talking about the cool stuff about prospect. We're talking about the cool stuff. We're talking about kindness. Kindness in itself. I've had this new perception of kindness, and that's actually really kind of cool. I was watching, for any show, I was watching Jerry Springer. Right? And I was seeing a lot of those people had issues with their parents, right? And it dawned upon me. I'm like, yo, I'm so lucky that I have the parents that I have, right? And then this thought stayed with me. I'm so lucky that I have the parents that I have. This thought really stuck to me. And I don't know why it stuck to me that much, but it did, right? And then in a position of like, wow, okay, you really feel strongly about that. Why? Okay, well, my parents are nice. You got good values, right? You got good values. And then it dawned upon me. I'm not gonna have good values. There's thanks for that, right? And then I've been, lately I've been trying to be kind to people. Yesterday we had a person in my life, and this is the first time we talk. So technically this is not true. Technically it's half true. We talked once before. This is the first time we talk voice to voice, not face to face. And I go in, and I need to go because I'm cooking. And I'm like, can I trust you with the street? Can I trust you with the life? She's like, yeah, no problem. And I hear her say, he's super nice. And it's something I get a lot. Oh, he's a nice guy. And it's a point of pride for me to be nice to people. It's a point of pride for me to be like, okay, well, I'm a person that they think they can rely upon, you know? And then this mindset of my parents being nice came back to me. And the simple concept of kindness completely changed. Am I nice because it's in my nature? Or am I nice because it is nurtured? The classic question of nature versus nurture. Am I kind because I was taught kindness? Or am I kind because I think it's the right thing to do? Even if I think it's the right thing to do, my whole first train of thought, my whole first way of my very first psyche was a direct result of my parents' psyches. Right? My parents knew the blueprints, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to copy them, right? And no matter how much I change, the foundation of who we are is the blueprints of the parents, right? And it is kindness. It's super important. Now, why is this important? Well, if you're kind because your parents were kind, if you're kind because it comes naturally to you, that's a great thing. But is it genuine? Would you choose? It's a crazy question because if by nature you're kind, right? Doesn't matter how shitty your situation is, doesn't matter how shitty your parents are, doesn't matter how shitty your boyfriend or your girlfriend is, doesn't matter how shitty your friends are, doesn't matter how shitty your coworkers are. You're a nice person, right? You're a nice person by nature. But then, how nice can you be if it's nurtured by you? So nature cannot beat nature, right? I'm gonna go very graphic. I'm a dude. I see a pretty girl and erection. I can't help it. I'm human, right? But then this is a physical reaction. Emotional reaction is to be nice, right? The physical reaction I cannot help it. The emotional I can change it, right? And that was the scary part. That is the scary part, you know? You always care about yourself. And of course there's some pride in there, there's some narcissistic intent to it. Oh, I'm a nice guy, right? It's a point of pride, it's a point of selling myself, right? And I'm very social, right? But what if it wasn't true? What if it wasn't who I was? You see, I'm a very social person, I'm very capable of speaking. Both of my parents are very social. My father talks a lot. My mom, she's a great listener. What if it was only something that I learned or I emulate by seeing them? And if that's the case, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? And the reality is, I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. Is that a big deal? Is that a problem? No. But if you're a kind person, but you're only a kind person because that's what you were taught, it's not good. Then again, you can think that, okay, well, it doesn't really matter why you're kind. The important part is you're kind, right? But I think the intention, it does matter, right? Because then there's this following train of thoughts. There's this complete world, a life, where my parents were kind, I'm kind. I'm hoping my kids. No. Fuck. I'm hoping my kids are kind, right? But is it a certainty that we're kind? Is it a certainty that they will always be there? They will always be similar to me, right? And then there's something that really changed the dice. It really changed the game. So I was watching Love on the Spectrum yesterday, right? And it dawned upon me. What if, because Love on the Spectrum is people that have autism, that have Down syndrome, right? And they don't part themselves with construct of kindness. That's what they are, right? They don't have a filter, right? And now that's when the simple concept of nurture versus nature is important. That's when it really becomes important. What do we do? Today is gonna be the day that I'm coming on back to you. I know we thought it somehow got to do. I don't believe in anybody feels the way I do without you now. Yeah, I know we do. That's pretty much it. So are you kind by nature or kind by nurture? Question. Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the show. As you know, having a wonderful day on this 10th April 2025. Today we're talking about a different subject. Today we're talking about another subject. Today we're talking about the subject of CVs, resume, and job finding. You guys know this is the current arc. We're trying to lose weight, trying to better ourselves, trying to find a job, right? Yesterday, I had a call, right? I had an interview, right? And it was someone that I met through the job fair. They want to offer me a job of selling, right? And I know it's gonna be hard to believe because it's a scene out of a fucking movie. Now the scene of the fucking movie is what? This person told me it's basically the scene of the Wolf on Wall Street, and they're like, okay, well, sell me this man, right? But it was very different because in the scene they take this guy, right, and it's basically it's weird how we associate. It's weird how we associate the movies with real life. So in the scene, there's a bunch of people that are really good salesmen, and they have proof of being a salesman, and they sold the action, and they sold. And then there's this character, this drug dealer, played by John Brittle, right? And then the main character, which is Leonardo DiCaprio, which played Jordan Belfort, right? He has a question, sell me this pen. It's a very famous scene, right? So the guy said, okay, well, I'm going to sell you this pen, right? So the guy was trying to sell me, they were saying, sell me this product. I tried to sell it to him, right? And then their answer was, you're a good salesman, right? But you don't have experience, so I don't know how you would do on a day-to-day basis. And I'm like, you just tested me, right? And it's a shame because you're pushed to a paper, a proof that you're able to sell. And that paper is an experience. That paper is experience, and this experience is from having other experience. Because of other experience, they want you to have previous experience. So it's more so a case of who is the first one, right? And it's a scary thing. It's a really scary thing because it's a cycle. You give me a chance, and this guy give me a chance, 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 and this guy give me a chance, right? But where do you start a cycle, right? Give me a second. So yeah, so, you know, and for the first time in my life, I was after for a paper, you know? It's like a diploma for high school, it's like a diploma for college, it's like a diploma for university. But you always come pre-prepared. And this is the crazy thing about this experience. I wouldn't go for a job that needs a college diploma because I don't have a college diploma. I wouldn't go for a job that needs a university diploma because I do not have a diploma from a university. I know that, I'm aware of that, so I wouldn't do it, right? But in this case, why did I go to a sales job if I didn't have experience in a sales job? I came in without a diploma. Oh, you have this mentality that you're able to achieve things even though you weren't able to achieve them yesterday. You have this idea where you want something that you've never done before, right? And it's a crazy thing because we're doing this in every single sphere. For example, content creation. People will not give you a chance if you don't have viewers. People will not give you a chance if you don't have subscribers. That's a crazy thing. Views equate to quality. Views equate to quality, but the views come from subscriber because the algorithm will push you. Right? The algorithm pushes out the big content creator because they prove themselves. The only reason they were able to prove themselves is because the algorithm pushes them. So again, it's a cycle, right? So right now we're having some jobs, and we're trying to move forward with finding a job that's unexpected. See, I made a mistake, and people say, okay, well, what's the mistake? The mistake wasn't that I applied too late. The mistake was like, okay, well, what is the next possible job? And I never asked myself the job. I knew where I wanted to go. I knew in which domain I wanted to go, but I never really asked myself, what would be a possible place? Is what you want realistic, or are you overselling yourself? And then you realize You oversold yourself on a job to sell. That is the beauty of thing. You sold yourself the idea that you could do that, but you weren't able to be hired as a salesman. Diploma, proof, a system of required prerequisites that are for some unrealistic. See, this doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, right? It's a job. But it doesn't in the grand scheme of things because you could say, well, it doesn't in the grand scheme of things because you could say, okay, well, the system of meritism. Meritism is the simple action of I did enough for the society. Society does it for me, right? It's give and give. How much I contribute and how much I'm worth, right? If I'm not able to contribute, then the simple system of meritism is completely fraud. That's great, right? Liar. 50%, okay, good. You came here to destroy me. Then go and let her go. Don't let your feel free to call it a job. Security to new empire. Your new empire. Don't make me kill you again. Hell yeah.
I wish I could because it's so totally wrong. What do you think you could do to make people like feel better about the situation?
I don't know. You get a wire tattoo on my face? You're gonna find me. How much am I getting that money? You're shopping around the figure 3,000? How much are you shopping around?
You're gonna profit. You're gonna profit. You're gonna profit. Well, they already leaked. Tommy already leaked. It's around $6,000.
Okay, so 4,000 of it's already gone. Would you like me to donate another 2 when it comes in?
Wait, how is 4,000 of it already gone?
Because
You
I
donated it to
I donated it.
that's a good cause right there.
Yes, it is. So I'm going to donate I will donate the equivalent of the entire check, the original 4,000, and the additional 2. How about that?
Well, you give another 2 grand.
Yes, I will give another 2 grand.
Okay, 6. Whoa.
You're gonna match with me on the day I do it.
You already matched 4 grand.
I know. Why not much more? You're
I
good.
don't think
I'm just what am I supposed to do? I'm a $2,000 hitting the third. I'm health insurance. I'm like, you want to be on the show? I'm the flights. I'm the
There you go.
I'm the pay for it. I'll see you. Take that.
the microphone is
Dude, calm down. Wait.
Go.
Are you even thinking about this? Why should you make money faking cancer? That's insane. Like, we can't do that.
You're out of your mind. You're out of your. Dude, I can't be homeless.
the good news when you guys work with you.
Holy fucking, well, if you want me to be able to live stream, if I don't have internet, if I don't have power, if I don't have electricity, if I don't have running water, if I can't live in a house, how do I be on this show? Make that make sense, genius. Make that make sense, genius.
Wait. Do you even understand how this looks? That you're freaking out this much?
I don't give a hell about this. You want me to be on the show? I have to be able to pay my mortgage.
I know. Calm down. Calm down. Okay,
Okay,
calm down. What do
I
you
don't
think?
have a light bill.
What do you think this whole chat is thinking right now? All right. Oh,
I don't get.
Who wants to profit off of faking cancer? Oh, Boogie
Give me
wants
like
to.
$4,000 from charity back and I'll be able to make it through the month.
Oh, so give you the $4,000 back that you gave to charity, so it's not even
Hey,
really
Tommy,
giving to charity.
deserves. Hey, Tommy, 25% of the working got paid. I'm like, where's the rest of the money go at that point? Where's the rest of the money go at that point?
I don't know. Me and Wayne will have to split it.
You want me on the show? You have to. I have to be able to pay my.
Oh,
Let
live.
me.
I have to be able to pay my bills.
Okay, let me figure out where your cut of the money's gonna go. 1 minute.
It needs to go to my.
1 minute. 1 minute. Tommy C, do you still work at Logan? Oh, you don't? Okay, thank you. Wait, did you fake cancer? I also have a fake cancer, so me and Wayne's are gonna split it.
Like we're kind of overbearing. We gotta pay Tommy C too. He might get some here.
Well, Tommy C's getting full $6,000 or whatever.
Is this a joke? Listen, how can I be on the show? No, make this thing. Do you want me on the show in August? Do you want me on the show in August at all? Because if you do, you don't want to do that. No, let's work. I'm supposed to be on the show. Let's go.
Bro, you got money. Bro, okay, who even believes this? Who even? Calm down. Chill out for a second. Chill out. Just listen. Catch your breath. Calm down.
Power and internet.
Calm down. Stop. Listen, there isn't a single person that believes if you don't get this $6,000, you're not gonna be able to pay your light bill. Come on.
Check your text right now. Check your text right now. I'll show you every goddamn dime I have. I'll show you every goddamn dime I have.
Chat. He should not make money off of faking cancer. Come on. Come on.
Like you're willing to show me
Here's every goddamn dime I have. It's every goddamn dime I have, Dan. Okay, $2,000 mortgage, $750 of insurance, $500. It's fine in Arkansas. Power bill alone $500 right now. The internet's $150. How am I gonna make $3,000 pay for $6,000?
Why are they saying this though? Okay, why are they saying this on Reddit? Pay Tommy at a Boogie share. He doesn't deserve to make money off of his cancer lies and scamming people. Why are they saying that? Is that not a good point?
It doesn't matter if it's a good point. It matters if you.
Are they wrong?
No,
Wait,
if they call me on the show. No, I have to. I got power. I got the internet.
No, if you wanted power and internet, you should have showed your medical records as quickly as you showed your bank account.
Bank account doesn't have my social security on it. Yeah, dumb fuck.
Well, and speaking about Tommy not working in July, you know who else didn't work in July? Boogie, because you were.
See every episode.
Yeah, but you were.
Listen, I did work even when I wasn't. I was dedicated to the show, even when I was fucking.
Employee.
Face tattoo. I got face tattoo. Let's show.
But he wasn't an employee because he got fired, remember? And then he got rehired.
Doesn't matter. I still did the work. I still did the work. I still did the work.
Okay.
I still did the work.
Hey, Jesus Christ.
Look, Lord Rush wanted to buy your gold play button.
I don't. Damn it.
Maybe one to send his gold play button back so he can pay like.
What?
Maybe send his gold play button back so he can pay like.
Okay. All right. Well, can you calm down so we can actually have a conversation about this? Or is it just going to be yelling and screaming?
I'm looking.
Hey, you're gonna have a heart attack. Oh, that bill's gonna be extreme. Even for a man in your situation with no paycheck.
I just want you to hear the point. I want you to hear the points I'm trying to make. One.
I get. You need to hear my point. No electricity, no show, no internet, no show, no water, no show,
but you're
no
lying.
life insurance, no show.
But you're lying.
How? How am I lying? Oh, you think I can break the laws? Physics? You think I can stream it? Internet? Electricity? Electricity works.
So you think you should be paid for July? Faking cancer.
I donated 4,000. I donated everything you're giving me back. I already gave it away.
So I'm being scammed again.
No, you're being scammed.
You paid me for the work I did. What's the scam? You paid me for the work I did. What's the scam? I was here. Tom wasn't. Hey, Tommy, he wasn't here. And I walked. And I'm not. Look at my face. Look at my face. I was anywhere. I was.
You're saying you're penniless here, but like just making up saying this penniless.
And here's the thing with Tommy. Yes, I do feel like I'm scammed with Tommy. But at the end of the day, he's leaving the show. He's not going to be here anymore. Why not just throw him an extra free?
And so am
Why
I.
not throw him an extra?
On the show without internet.
I can't even say what I'm saying.
And so am I. And so am I. Because I can't be here without internet. I can't be here without internet. How do I stream without internet?
Okay, the show. Okay, you're not getting paid, but the show will pay for your internet. There you go.
And water, and electricity, and everything else it has to. Because otherwise I can't. How do I live here? So I can be able to get to a house I don't own anymore.
Yo, how are you gonna get repossessed? How's your house gonna get repossessed in like a month? You're gonna get a paycheck
Yeah,
in a month.
hold up. You're trying to get like everything I said in Coffee Zilla becomes true now. You literally are paying me for work.
Look, for somebody that's so keen on his bounce, why do you do instant transfers and take out the bill?
Arrête de fumer d'un seul coup. Ouais, c'est ça. Commencez plutôt à arrêter avec Drive.
Les grains de café torréfiés les plus fins du monde. À la pizza faite de main de maître en Italie. PC rend l'ordinaire un peu plus extraordinaire.
Si tu cherches la plateforme où il y a plus de choix, Autoado va te la pourcentage.
Wait, should I really not pay him? Like honestly, he is gonna make money from faking cancer. I come across this tweet and I was like, damn, that really does make sense. Pay out Tommy out of what he shared. He doesn't deserve to make money off his cancer
But
license.
you do, right? You're gonna cash your. Dory's fat ass is fine with property.
I'm doing actual
Tommy's fine. Tommy's fine.
Hey,
Tommy's fucking fine.
I'm the one that held you
I was
accountable.
in a tattoo chair. I'm the one who sat here and let Mueller and Maneker talk about my news. But take hours to talk to get my fucking dick. But I'm fine. But I'm jerk off amusements. But this is goddamn show. That's sick disgusting.
Do you want to work? Wait, stop. Okay. Do you want to work this out or you want to just yell and scream, Boogie?
I'm yelling scream up that mower.
You gotta understand what I'm saying. Can you just talk about this? Can you talk
Let's
about
talk about
this?
the fact that I understand the moral reasoning behind it. But number one, I already gave away that paycheck. I already gave it away.
Okay.
And if my fucking bank account tripping that I was going to be back on show goddamn day, and I can find them.
He does make a solid point. Like, how about, if you can prove to us that the money came out, they can't pay.
That's the easiest goddamn thing in the world. I've already done that. I already did it to fucking my car. I understand that's
No,
not
he did. Me and the chat haven't seen it.
No, he did donate. I seen screenshots. And Muta confirmed it. And Muta also matched it.
Today is August. Today is August. At this point, the chargeback will be out of the fucking possibility. That's why I'm.
It's so silly that Boogie's gonna profit off of faking cancer. But that is
just as much as you are. Just as much as Curry is. Just as much as you are. Just as much as Curry is. Just as much as Tommy is. You're all cashing up checks. You're all cashing up.
I know, but we didn't fake the cancer. We didn't fake the cancer. We didn't fake the cancer. Listen, we'll come back to this conversation later. All right? Hey, we gotta do the shopping thing.
Yeah, the shopping thing. That makes me overshot now.
We gotta do the shopping thing. But
$100 worth of groceries I can afford to buy.
okay.
I can't pay for it.
Wait, you just sent us your checking account.
You do not understand. I have mortgage that hits for $2,100.
There's $9,000 in your. There's $9,000 in your account.
It's not $9,000. Look at the account. I just said it's $3,600. I have a $500 electric bill. I have $500 for the mortgage. I don't get paid until the
For the mortgage, I was giving you a credit for $2,100.
$2,100 for the mortgage. $500 for electricity. $500 for health insurance. I've admitted I'm not this one.
You obviously got a care credit.
Shit.
I don't have a care credit.
Then you got a secret need payment.
That's a personal loan. I don't. That's one goddamn dog.
Okay. Well, we'll come back to this conversation because we're not going to resolve it now. And we need to talk about it, right? It can't be yelling and screaming, I'm going to have no electric and all this other stuff. We'll figure it out. But I don't want people to, like, stop supporting the show because you're profiting off of cancer. Like, that doesn't make sense. And there was a big time period that you actually weren't hired. Remember, you got fired, and then you took it out.
And you agreed to tear up the contract and put me back on the show. I did as much work as
2,
I did as much work as
3,
I did
4,
more work
5.
Tommy was here for those episodes. I was here for every goddamn one of them, even though I wasn't on the show. Now make it make sense. I think he gets paid.
Wait, listen, I'm so sick of talking about money, honestly.
Me too. I find in the end, so I didn't have to have this exact kind of conversation in goddamn public space.
Okay, Boogie. When. All right, let's watch Wings and Boogie go shopping. All right, here we go. Let's find out what the little piggies all eat.
I asked him hard not to talk about it as well, and he said, "Yeah."
Yeah, Kim was the one bringing it up. I'm just playing along with it.
I'm still not sure what happened.
No, you brought it up. You brought it up. You said you looked into her family, and then Kim asked you what you looked up. No, you brought it up.
Yeah, I'll own it. I don't give
Okay. I'll make
What's
this
the number,
What number? 4?
I can go on.
I'm not inviting anybody over again. There's no one I'm not interested. 30 grand?
You know what? To get into it, fine. All right. What's your plan? Now you're going to be a YouTuber after you figured it out last night. How do we get you back your money up, your life up, everything around?
Well,
I think actually what Keem said at the beginning was great.
Actually, hold on.
Just let me finish, please. Okay. I think what Keem said at the beginning was great. If you get everything out on the air right now, you basically start brand new. How many people get a new start? This is the next green positive forward.
I mean, there's very little other things I lied about. I you know, like even now, I talked to the cops this time and said, hey, let's call me first, and they did. They are at that point now, which is good. You guys didn't believe me the last time that happened. I did get hacked on Twitter for the record. I don't know why. I've always suspected that Keemstar had somebody do it. Would you want that today?
What did I just walk into?
No, I was just asking you on Twitter.
No.
Yeah, you were gonna happen on Twitter. I suspected because you were mad at me about the whole iDubbbz thing at the time that maybe you had somebody do it.
Bro, you're okay. You're talking about like a federal crime.
Oh,
You organized a hacking?
Yeah, like come on. Like
I always wondered, and I just thought I would be asking. I figured the answer was no. That did legitimately get hacked on
This
Twitter.
reminds me of the time that Matt Mundane got swatted and he told the FBI, "Oh, Keemstar did it." Oh yeah, I'm swatted.
I didn't tell anybody. I asked a question. I just asked.
Dude, come on, bro.
I just asked.
Of course, I'm not gonna have someone hack you. I would go to jail for 10 years.
Okay, well, I just thought it was worth asking. Let's see, I did lie about the dates in which I had those welfare checks. That's true. Let's see what else. I always told you guys that me and my ex-wife split amicably. It was not as amicable as I wished it was.
That's obvious. Though. Every
Yeah, well, I never hit her. We did lose our tempers on each other several times in the last year though, and it's very regrettable.
Well, you didn't recreate her.
No, I don't think so. This person's a completely different person. She just has red hair. It's the only difference. Only similarity as far as I know.
Yes,
I know the name. Similar name.
Same name, same
Well,
glasses.
no, my ex-wife, well, Desi doesn't wear glasses. Those are costume glasses. She just likes to wear them sometimes. She
That's
doesn't.
what I said, yeah. The same thing Jackson brought up.
Which?
The dissociating stuff. You keep saying you dissociate, but you don't actually. Nobody knows.
Jackson Clark just messaged me. He says, can't at the moment, but let him know no one that's disassociative says they're disassociating.
Okay. Well, I can tell you what I'm experiencing, and you can tell me the proper word for it. Okay. My therapist would call it dissociative disorder, but here's what happens. Whenever I become stressed, it's like wearing a VR helmet. And so at the very beginning of it, it's like the VR helmet, the sound goes down, and the audio goes down, and the visuals go down, like everything's darker. And then eventually I pull back and I pull back and I pull back further and further until like where I'm at now, which is like I'm kind of watching it happen, but I'm also like kind of in control. So it's kind of like telling them it's like a cutscene in an NPC. I can kind of control what's going on, and then eventually I get to a point where I just am a autopilot, and I just.
Yeah, and you see your penguin sliding on ice. I feel you. We see Fight Club as well.
Well, I don't know what that has to do. That was spirit animals, and I don't have any spirit animals. So I did. My spirit animal would most likely be like a whale.
And yeah,
You don't work. You don't do anything to make money. You can move into a place that costs more than where you currently
All
are.
right, no, let me walk you through.
You're the financial genius of.
Well, it's my friend Glenn. It's his idea, and I think it's a smart
I
one.
thought it was your idea. You thought about it last night with her.
Well, the destination of Branson. That's fine. That's ours last night. We had debated Gatlinburg as well, but we picked Branson last night.
Sure.
And we also picked Southwest Virginia at one point, because I own property there, but we discussed it's just not salvageable. That property's not salvageable. So, like it's fully overgrown. I don't know if you saw the video.
oh no, you can't mow the lawn. Oh no, you can't get out there and cut down the bush. Oh no.
I mean, there's little trees growing. I think I would definitely need to hire a team.
But to be fair, Boogie is a 450-pound man.
I don't want to hear it from another 450-pound man. The best thing Boogie could have done is like quit interrupting me. Is to go out there and build himself a cabin. You went and did something like that, you'd be a completely different person. You'd be happy. You wouldn't have this horrible outlook on life.
You're right. I wouldn't be a disabled person because I would be able to do that. You know?
Yeah, if you did that.
You're not disabled now.
Right. I would. I assure you, I'm legally disabled by the.
I understand the state thinks you're disabled, but I've watched you get into a boxing ring. I've watched you.
Yeah, you get your ass off the helmet. Who comes in next to the guy that's good at you?
You watch me sit down every 60 seconds too because I couldn't stand up.
You had a net worth of $1 million, so quit calling me a liar.
Okay, so for maybe one night before it crashed.
Shut up. God, you mean-
Drive-C qui a été fumé, c'est dur. On Allez-y plutôt petit à petit avec Drive, ça peut donner d'énormes résultats. Commencez à arrêter avec Drive.
My allegiance is to the republic, to democracy. If you're not with me, then you're my enemy. You only shit deal with absolute, I'll do what I must. You will try, you failed, you wanna you failed, you.
And personalized t-shirts. See what's possible with Cricut Joy Extra. Don't miss this limited time deal. Shop now at Cricut.com.
There's a long time between that and it going down. Long time. Stop just guys. Oh my God. Shut up.
Anyway,
How much money do you make on all of YouTube?
Last month, 1.8K.
No, all of YouTube. Since you've been on YouTube, at least $1 million.
We talked about the 17 years, I made 1.5 million average out about 8,000 a year, which is a very.
And how much did you make in sponsorships? Probably at least $1 million, right? Or half.
No, I was only able to keep sponsors for about a year, maybe a year and 3 months before I lost them all. But yes, during that year, I think I made close to 200,000 from them.
Yeah, think about that. How many people have like made that much money that you made? Think about that. There's not that many people.
Yeah,
and the fact that you mope around, no, you're listening to me. The fact that you mope around with no hope after you've already accomplished something amazing like that is so insane.
Answer, right? You know, wait, why? Oh, you mentioned Chad. He's still standing there watching.
No, we said Chad.
T-H-A-T.
I just looked up. That's why I looked up. He's not turning my attention. He's still sitting here listening in case he needs to pull the plug.
He's fine. Tell him to stand down. They don't need to pull the plug.
No. I said,
you
no,
said,
you listen.
no, you're manipulating him.
Listen right now. I said I don't like hot chicks and I don't like them.
No.
I said I don't like hot chicks and I don't like them.
You said you hate
I
him.
said that.
You said you hate him.
Run a poll. What do you guys remember? Do you remember you said I hate him? But I don't like because I don't like hot chicks. I don't like hot chicks and I don't like Curry.
Look, before that, you said you hate him.
Jesus.
You said on this show, wait, time out, everyone.
I don't like Curry.
But multiple times in the show you said you hate me. You have, okay? So I don't want to hear about Curry because that was a little while ago when you were mixing it up. You hate him. You, say you tell me in private you hate him. I fucking hate you that. You hate him. So now you're saying I don't have a hate bone in my body. Right? That's manipulation. You're trying to manipulate him right now. Stop doing that. Be real. Tell him you hate his guts. Tell him you hate his guts. You do. So tell him that and be real. This is why I'm saying this.
I have been for the last hour. This is the real Steven. You're saying it as much as you can. I'm a very quiet, very down, very sad person, and that's what I do. And I that's what I'll continue to do. If I'm not play acting for the internet, if I'm not pretending, this is what you see, because this is who I am. I'm very quiet. I'm an introvert, for sure.
You should let his biggest A-logs come on and present their case for his bullshit lies.
What is an A-log?
Your biggest haters.
I would rather do that than a tattoo, so let's set that up for the next
No,
one.
no, tattoo.
I won't do both.
What? You'll do whatever I say.
No, we just
Don't I control you? Don't I control you?
we just agreed that that's not going to happen anymore, right?
I thought.
Stop doing that.
No, you're lying. I'm not. I'm so sick of this manipulation. Look, I will say this to you. Obviously, I was trolling you. I'm not going to scam you out of your play button, and there was no intention to scam you to get the play button. I was going to sell it for charity, but then I figured, I don't want some random person having it. Maybe it's better than you has. That's why I said we'll talk about it behind the scenes, right? So I was just trolling you to let you know that lying and manipulation's not cool, but you didn't really get that. You got really offended right away, and you didn't really get the point that I was trying to get across to you.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at my bank statement. Well, the good news is, I'm getting my play button back, and charity got help, so that's all that matters. Yep.
All right, so I'm going to leave it at that. All right.
Wait, if I donate a little bit more, do I get the play button? We match. If I get my 3,000 back, sure.
You take money back from that kid?
No, I mean, we're always Let me figure out how to do that right now. They told me they thought I was going to charge it back. No, they're really upset.
I don't think you would do that. If you would charge it back, you'd really be buggy. Come on, let's be real.
I know, but that's what they're saying. They're saying they're going to tell everybody that.
Oh, come on. There's no way. If you did that, we would know. We'd find out. The only way you have to worry about that is if you actually charge it back.
They said they're going to tell. They said they don't believe me.
Oh my God! Stop it! Get to the donos. Any donation, 20 or more, that happened tonight, rate it for the.
In the middle of a severe panic attack. Okay, I'm trying to ignore.
Why? You did a good thing tonight. You donated to charity. Why would you have a panic attack?
And they're going to tell people I didn't. They're going to tell people I lied.
No, you did donate. I have the screenshot.
I know, but they said they believe I was going to charge it back.
They probably do believe, but they don't have any proof. They can't say that unless you actually charge it back. So don't charge.
Might as well get this.
Obviously wouldn't.
Look, you can live with that guilt. Roll subject matter, take care of yourself.
Yes, it's cold.
Jacob is Lucas. Why the f*** is Boogie back? He got fired.
He makes a good point. Go ahead.
All Trade Films. Make a little account scan for my channel. They would love to know a way to get it to you all.
Good one.
Join the Discord.
Good comment.
Fiasco Games. When people disclose information as sensitive as they normally become closed off and withdrawn, they don't tend to sit like this. He sits open and animated. Recalling such issues would invoke a different temperament. Oh, no. Medicare Assistant donated $50. Say happy birthday to Boogie and celebrate with us Wednesday at 7 p.m. at the Mr. Mystiker channel. Jay Hawker says, Boogie, if you truly love Desi, you would break up with her. If she has the issues you said, she's being with you is going to make it worse, not better. You're going to mess her up. Well, she and her family disagrees, but go off, I guess.
No, go off, Queen. Go off, Queen.
Not interested. Just let me get through it today.
You got this.
Matt, shut up. Let me get through it. Matt Sales says, so only people that aren't capable of refusing his testimony are allowed to be discussed. If they are dead, they're fair game. This is why, Dan, I told you I couldn't talk about this, man.
You can do this.
That's why I told you, no, I can't. I told you I couldn't talk about this.
You knocked us out of the park.
I begged you not to make me talk about this on the show. I begged you.
You crushed it.
I begged you. I begged you. I begged you, Dan. I begged you.
You crushed it. You did very good tonight.
I begged you.
You did. What's going on over there? You did fine. I think you broke your computer. Hello?
Why are you numb? Why are you numb?
Because it's better than being a crazy person.
What has you to the point where you feel like you need to be a crazy person?
I don't know. What's the point of it?
Then what you need to use it for. Like I said, you should be afraid of Mudahar. You should be afraid of Mudahar's fan base. It's the people that's in his fan base that might do things. Man, what? If you're going to sit here and just be gloom, what's the point of taking the phone call up? Why'd you come?
I was told to, so I'm here. I don't know. What do you want me to do?
You do everything you're told to?
Have myself in the jealous right now? Yeah, for now.
This is what you should do. This is what you should do. This is the best advice I can give.
We have peanut butter. Would that be good enough?
Please listen to me. Please listen to the words I'm about to say, Boogie. This is literally the best advice I can give you. From this moment on, it feels like rock bottom. So why don't you just empty out the closet, grab every skeleton in there, and throw it out to the world? Just tell everyone the truth about everything. Come clean on anything that might be wrong or might be manipulation throughout your history. Like this whole thing where you don't want to talk about the conflicts of the statements of your views is so silly to me. This is a golden opportunity for you to set the record straight and have a fresh start. You're already...
I'm trying to explain to you that I mentally cannot handle that, and I don't know why you won't listen. I cannot do that. I mentally cannot do that. On a good day, I cannot do that. I cannot have Destiny and Charlie in here telling me that I'm lying about the that I have when I was a child. I can't do it. I can't.
If you're not lying about it, then why does it matter?
Because I don't want to revisit it. It was tough enough the first time. It was tough enough.
You can't be that way, but you just revisited it just like a month ago.
It's a little different. It's a little different when it's Destiny coming in and saying you're a liar. Prove that your dad was your major tomorrow. Prove it. Prove something that happened in 1988. Prove it. Prove it can't happen. You can't prove it can't happen. I can't do that. I can't prove something that happened in 1983. I didn't have a cell phone in my pocket.
Okay, but you told me why some of the stories are inconsistent and they don't match up.
Yes.
Why don't you just tell the
I
audience?
don't want to destroy human life. I don't want to destroy someone's life.
Shut the fuck up.
Did I don't want to destroy someone's life? Did I don't want to destroy someone's life?
Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I'll destroy mine all day, and my dad is dead, and my mom is dead. I'll talk about those things. Tell it why.
Yeah, but Dad and Desi aren't dead.
Why? I will not. We talked about it. We made an agreement, and I'm not going to do that for internet clout. I'm not going to do that so the kids can go through it. No, thank you. We're not here.
Yeah.
To get off on
Understand.
internet clout. This is not a topic I will cover for internet
Well,
clout.
you talk about that comment. Now, here's what I'm trying to talk to you about, Mr. Talk Loud, is you don't want to destroy anybody's life, but what happens when you self-delete yourself and Desi has to witness it or find your big fat carcass?
Do it.
Yeah, but you're destroying people's lives regardless. You're going against the state. Don't you
Okay, stop.
What a fucking asshole.
Yelling isn't helping you, and it isn't. That's what he does. This was the conversation.
Not yet. Let me do my goddamn job. I'll tell you when the time comes.
Yeah, he's got a backup plan that if we bring up they're going to cut the power to his computer.
Yes. If I get out of control, my caretakers, both of them, are standing right here, know to not let me get out of control. So before it gets bad enough, they're going to take care of the problem.
All right, then can you calm down so they don't have to turn the camera off? How about that?
Go fuck yourself. I will divulge no more medical information to any of you motherfuckers.
You ain't got to tell me what it is.
Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
Because you need to be on an SSRI.
Bro,
Because
just
you're not
Swings, stop. Just stop. We gotta handle this with kid gloves. Swings, you're playing bad cop a little too hard. Boogie, why don't you just take the mic and say what you want to say about this whole situation?
God, I'm so happy. I hate this. I hate it. I hate this show. I hate breathing air. I hate being alive. I'm so excited. I can't stand it anymore. I can't stand this. I can't stand this. I really want to life. I just want to be out there.
But you haven't.
Stop. Wait, shut up. Let's give the guy a minute. Please, come on. All right, Boogie, listen. I need you to actually calm down. No more yelling. All right? We get how you're feeling. You described it very.
Then stop asking me.
I'm not asking you how you're feeling. I asked you. What I said is you have the mic. Why don't you say what you want to say about the situation?
I say over and over again. I hate being alive. I hate being alive. I hate breathing. I hate being alive. I'm in tremendous pain. Help me. I'm in so much pain. I'm in so much pain.
All right. Well then, okay. Let's get off. Let's just get
What
off.
do you want to talk about instead? What do you want to talk about instead?
This goes back to last night. You're not mentally fit to be on the show. It's
No,
irresponsible.
what did you want to talk about?
Do you know that there's a big portion of the audience that wants you back on the show?
I don't care.
Isn't that a good thing? Isn't that a good thing?
No, do I want to? No, that's it right now.
It's not all negative. It's not all negative, Boogie. What I'm trying to tell you is there's positive things. What Wayne was trying to tell you earlier is that there's positive things. It's not all
One of
negative.
the positive things is I have to sit here and talk about my. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want that.
Nobody's talked about that.
We're not.
What abuse were you talking about? You said abuse. What abuse were you talking about?
We were talking about the conflict of why you want to come on. We weren't actually talking and getting into the details of that. So, just calm down. And by the way, I know you can't talk about your sister. You said you would talk about your dad and mother all day. So will you address those issues? Because
Yes, my mother twisted my balls. That's why the abuse. And she twisted my balls.
okay, well let's not talk about any of it.
No, my dad in front of me and showed me things and asked me if I wanted to. I did.
No.
Shut the fuck up.
We're done with it. We're done with that conversation.
Thank you.
We're done with that conversation.
Thank you.
I have something I'd ask that has nothing to do with that kind of conversation. You said earlier, and I asked you this earlier, that you were in pain and you live your life in pain. And I asked you, what is making you feel so down and depressed and in pain?
I deal with myself every second. Because I'm a piece of. I mean, I'm not the fucking internet.
The internet's not always right. Like,
They are. I am human garbage.
We're not getting anywhere. We're not even having a conversation. It's just crazy how.
No, I understand. I'm quite aware.
Okay, well, you're on here to have a conversation about this stuff, not.
Oh, my God, show me.
Somebody asked that, but you're going back to it.
Come on, what is this? Honestly, stop it.
You act like you want to go there so you can bring the victim.
You told me I had to. You had to yesterday in Texas said we're going to have to address it at some point. So let's just address it and move on.
No, we're not addressing anything. We're not talking about shit. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. Stop yelling and screaming on here. Now, look. Is there any updates on your side with the cancer and all that? You want to get some paperwork together? What's going on with that?
I can't put every I'm done. I don't have the money to fight it. I have no desire to fight it. I'm looking forward to doing it, so it's done. I'm never getting this gold medal done. It doesn't matter. Even if I showed you the destiny tomorrow, even if I decided to leave my life work, you can still not go to you. I can just call you. You told me on this show the last time you were on. Destiny will only accept you when it's a doctor telling you to his face. And my doctor's not going to come up here. And I wouldn't want my doctor to do it to begin with. Is your mother still in the case? I hope not. I don't know. I'm going not to right now. Why? But this horrible with the show. He wanted it to be festival. Was he gave your brother's idea? Sure, and I'm going to turn to. I don't care. If I was in your situation, yes, I hate myself too. I get that. That's what normal stuff. Most normal people, when they make a mistake, they're hard on themselves. But that's how you learn. That's how you grow. That's how you get better. But there's no way I could ever give up on anything. I don't give up. There is no wrong way. You're not me. You're not me. There's no give up. No. Dude, because I can see opportunities everywhere. I can see chances to learn a long way to be better. A long success. I just want to be out there. Let me finish what I'm saying. I will sit. You and I, the whole security is living lost it. Good job. That's good. How did you go that can't afford medication? How's it good? How'd you go that can't afford medication? I said, no, she lost my medication. Why are you saying that? Why are you considering I can't afford medication? Because I can't afford medication. Because I can't afford medication. What can't you afford medication? Child! So you sold your mortgage, you're done. They're getting money for that. Which I need for mortgage. But I can't make YouTube videos. I can't launch it. I can't sell my cars and whatnot anymore. I'm paying for the internet. Remember, King? I'm paying for the internet. You don't let me. I can't sell my cars and whatnot. I can't post my girlfriend. I can't do shit.
The reason why I banned you from the internet is because there has to be punishments. And if you do these punishments, I think the internet
The punishments will make sure I don't have money.
Let me finish what I'm saying. I think when you go through these punishments, the internet will not forgive you, but allow you to exist again.
You're right, homelessness. Right, I'll be homeless, but it'll be great. Because I'm living on $2,000 a month. You're giving me almost $2,000 a month.
I'm going to kick you off if you keep interrupting me because I can't make my point. This is what you do on the phone. This is what you do on the phone. I'm trying to create a scenario in which you can have a return to benefit you.
I don't want it. I'm sorry.
You don't want to return? You don't want to make money?
Right now, the only thing I want is just not to be in constant misery.
Okay, then listen to me and trust me.
I broke my headphones.
Okay, well, that's gonna happen. Your life's gonna be turned out too if you don't keep making some.
I understand, but I don't make any more money. My life's gonna get turned out. I understand. I understand.
Obviously, don't.
I'm not allowed to sell cars and whatnot. I can't post anything to YouTube. I can't live stream. Trust me, my bills get my lights get turned off this month. I will remember that. I'll remember that it was a punishment. When we're all sitting here in the dark, I'll remember it was a punishment. I'll remember it was a punishment. That's a fair punishment.
Can you take a break and can we talk to Desi real quick?
I'd rather not. She's miserable enough right now. She doesn't need your
Well, that's what I'm trying to check out. Like, are you like this all day long, freaking out like this?
No, it's only when you're doing this to me. That's pretty much it. The rest of the day, I'm just quiet.
I'm not doing anything to you, bro. Stop saying I'm doing shit to you.
Again, he isn't doing anything. Every choice that you're regretting now is something that you made. Like, you didn't have to sell your part of the show to him.
Yes, I did. He told me I had to. He told me I
Why'd you have to? Why'd you have to?
He told me to. I don't know. I just listened to the man. I just listened to him. He said I had to sell it, so I sold it. I just listened to him.
Well, to be fair, he did have to sell me the shares because I fired him, and that made me look like a liar to the internet because he still owned a part of it, so I had to buy him. And I told him the same thing.
I'm the fucking piece of paper. He said, do this, I do this. That's it. He was in shot. He has no control.
The conversation went buggy. Come on.
I understand, but that's why I do what I do. You told me that I had to sell my shares.
I didn't finesse him. I didn't finesse him.
No, not finessing me. You told me I had to do it, so I just did it. I did it. I didn't negotiate with you. I didn't try to negotiate a single dime out of you. No, I didn't. I took what you offered. I didn't argue. I didn't say shit. I just signed it and I moved on. Jordy's over here telling me I should think 5 times when I got. And I told him I just
it's wings. Wings. Of course, it's wings.
I just took what I was offered.
I'm surprised Wings didn't tell you your share was over 200K. To be honest.
No, I was basing it off what we make a year.
Well,
like, would you sell Drama Alert based off what you make a year on it?
No, I'd sell for way more.
Right, that's the point. Like, that's the point. Basing off what a year is, like, that's being conservative.
I wasn't going to cut Boogie any checks. I really fired him, right? You know, the money was going to get split up between the three of us moving forward. But to be fair to Boogie, technically he did own 25%. So I didn't want him over. I didn't want me to be a liar to the internet.
Did I fight with you? And ask me, did I fight with you? Did I negotiate with you?
No, I did what I thought.
I told me to do it. I just did it.
I did what I thought was fair to everyone, and I just bought his shares. I thought that was the most fair thing to do. Because obviously, you and Tommy only like when I have interest in the show. When I say I'm sitting back and you guys take the show, you quit when I said I was not doing the live streams anymore. Because you know it's important. You know, not that
you're an important part of the show.
Exactly. To be on camera, which I was never supposed to be. So I feel like I should get at least half of the show.
Well, that was just you.
That's why I have no issue with it. I have no issue with it, but like my thing is like, don't look at it this way. When I say Boogie didn't have to sell part of the show, he didn't have to sell part of the show.
Yeah, but somebody in the chat said
no. I've given you the answer the whole 9 hours, which is I have the cancer. I'm being treated for the cancer. Exactly.
And I find it very hard to believe, and I'm not willing to disbelieve.
It's fine, Boogie. Stop freaking out.
No, that's why it sucks. That's why it sucks. That I'm getting called by all of my favorite creators a liar. What am I fucking lying?
You lied 1.5 years ago about a diagnosis.
Told me. My doctor told me I have cancer. God damn it! It's in my medical charts. My brother's seen it. Where's the lie? My brother's seen my medical charts. My friends have taken me to visits when they took my blood.
It's alright. It's alright. It's fine. It's fine. Now we got to why we can't see the records. It's fine. Just calm down. You just needed more tests? It's fine. You jump the gun. I know how this works. I'm a YouTuber too. You know, you jump the gun, you rush, you make a mistake. You jump the gun, you rush, you made the video. Like, every YouTuber makes mistakes of this. This is crazy how this played out. But I know you. I know as soon as the doctor told you it might be this, you had a panic attack and you rushed to the internet to tell them. I know this. Based on everything you told me, I pieced this together right away. I know you will.
He's never said Mike. He says we are treating you for this cancer.
But it's not in your portal. He's not putting it in your portal.
I understand. It's my understanding. And who is that doctor or whoever, or the doctor that was on here earlier can confirm. The treatments are pretty much the same. You do the same thing. You monitor the red blood cell count. You try to bring it down. You get the medications and treatments that bring it down. When it gets high enough, you bloodlet. They literally take your blood. You can go donate it. We've done all of these things. We are treating me for the cancer, whether I have it or not. I guess. Maybe
we're not treating you for the cancer.
There you go. That's whether you have it or not. Your doctor thinks this is a possibility, so they've been treating it.
Everything that you showed us isn't treating you for cancer. They're treating you for an overabundance of red blood cells, which they haven't wrote down. They put the CPAP machine, they put sleep apnea. I understand all this, but what you told us, the information you've given me,
that's how you treat it. That's how you treat it.
The information you've given me, they don't know what they're looking for, and they're putting you on general medicines that fix the red blood cell problem.
Yes, because with this cancer, you can't attack it directly. Chemo isn't a thing you do for this thing unless it turns into leukemia. That's my explanation.
That's very rare.
Right, exactly. 5% after 10 years, 10% after 20. What normally kills somebody with this is something already high risk for, which is stroke and heart attack.
Here's the next step, buddy. Here's the next step. Here's the next step. The next step is you do that bone marrow. test
Well, no,
study, and
next
you
test
do
is make sure
your prostate study.
You said your brother saw it on the medical chart. It is in the medical chart. It's not on the portal. I don't know why it's not on the portal. There's several other things that we discussed. No, it's not on the portal.
It's not in the medical chart either.
But then apparently the brother said it.
It's not there. I'll make that call right now.
My brother's thinking his
What's
reputation.
most likely there is a packet of papers, and those packet of papers are like where like the registered nurses pulled possible
Information about it.
Correct.
There was a possibility they give him paperwork. He shows the paperwork to his brother, right, and asks questions about it.
So yeah, maybe it will turn out that it's polycythemia secondary and not polycythemia vera. Doesn't matter. Like the doctor that here earlier said, there are other cancers that can cause polycythemia, and that's one of the things we're worried about. So again, my doctor has now shifted. I don't know what markers he's seeing. I don't know. I just know he says it's time to look for other cancers. Let's start with the blood test. And then I said, what about the bone marrow test? Because it's unnecessary.
No, you're looping. We were just saying the same thing.
Okay, let me tell you a secret, buddy, that's going to help you out here. See, you don't know how to read your medical or your pathology test. We just had a doctor that could read pathology tests. My brother weren't happy. I know, an actual doctor. Your brother's not there.
Because you're afraid that he's practicing.
Right, but we had a guy that was a practicing medical doctor that could very easily read your pathology test and tell you what's going on with you.
I have a doctor that does that already.
Use your resources.
I have three doctors right now already.
Dis-le canadien, t'as crème d'écriture. Assis-toi, il fait juste avec toi, ça fait 35.
Quand vous accumulez des points PC optimum sur les choses dont vous avez vraiment besoin, vous pouvez les échanger contre des choses que vous voulez vraiment. C'est comme ça que PC rend chaque journée un peu plus facile. Ici ensemble.
And it is in your portal, and you have paperwork. Show the internet. Don't play around. You've already shared this. All right. Once you get like real
I will share
confirmation.
it privately with you and only you.
As far as I know, it's so bad that you just like lied about all of this.
I haven't really lied about
4 days ago. I just see this post.
4 days ago.
4 days later.
And I did lie about it. Yeah, but then I lied about it. Yes, I
got a diagnosis. Now we're going to identify different things. So,
because I know that it's in my medical chart because my brother's seen it. My brother
just said it's not.
No, I said it is. My brother just said it is. Jordy said he doesn't believe it is. I believe it is. Look, listen, regardless of whatever lies you think I told, and yes, I did lie. I panicked during that last episode.
I know you did. I could see it when you were saying it. You're like, it says it right here. I'm like, no, it doesn't. But
I'm telling you right now, hand to God.
Oh, so God.
No, I hand to God. Okay, on Satan's name then, whatever you pray to. I know for 2 years I have believed I have cancer. Saying right now, I believe I have cancer because I've had a doctor tell me over and over and over again, you have cancer, and he's prescribed medications, and we've done treatments for that. Yes, I agree.
guys, let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up.
I can say whatever I want and what I want to say.
Means you useless. Now that the white beater is gone keen, you can get rid of all words wings banned like useless and white beater. Wings of excuses. You never change wings.
Say my
Breaking Bang.
goddamn right.
Like right before we decided to do the show, you're like, dude, I'm gonna get hit left and right.
Well, the thing is like a lot of my trolls have access to me here more so than my personal streams. So you're gonna get more people that come here and troll than you would anywhere else on the internet. Which is funny because like Insane who's doing it right now, like he's a guy that used to be really pro me and he's really mad at me. And I'm thinking in my head like, how can I win this guy's trust back? Because like that's something I would have never thought about before. Because like one of the realizations I had to when I worked on internet management, even though people said what I did wasn't good enough, it still gave me enough to self-reflect. And that was like thousands of people didn't wake up one day and cultivate discords and reddits and things like that and have smart communities based off of me just randomly hating me.
Good.
Issues with anger, not so much like blinking out red, hitting people anger, which that did happen during the fat camp, and that was a myriad of concoctions that caused that.
Anger,
more so,
I would say anger, authority, and accountability, right? Because like throughout the years, not this situation, but throughout the years, when you would get hit with something, instead of just being like, I'm guilty, right? There was always like
Okay, don't make it your brain quite controversial.
It's attorney defense, right? On every situation that ever came out, right? And once you do that and you defend yourself, the people that are mad at you in the first place take it to the next level. They're like, oh, he doesn't want to say sorry, right? It becomes a game to the people online when you don't truly take accountability.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think about stuff because like I see stuff in chat that's always like irritating me. You know, like I'm trying to like marginalize it and like trying to use the techniques I've been learning. Because like for a long time I realized that like my whole personality was just anger. Like one of the first steps of anger is disrespect. Another step of anger is like making fun of people. And like how I build bridges is make fun of people. Like the first thing I did with like when I met Bees was like, oh, you got arm hair. You know what they call girls with arm hair? Mopeds. Because it's fun to ride when your friends aren't watching.
Didn't you also say that you learned frustration was like one of the beginning stages?
More of anger. I never associate frustration with anger. And that's I feel more frustrated than anything most of the time I'm on the internet.
Jordy, a real man moves his wife's hand away from the horn on the car. He doesn't slap.
That was actually my goal. To move her hand away from the horn. Like did I do it a little too aggressively? 100%.
By the way, Wings, you useless has been. Now that the white beater is gone keen, you can get rid of all words Wings banned like useless and white beater. 100%. Wings of excuses. You never change Wings. Useless.
Those are lies I say.
Wings is still in denial. He can't be brought back in good faith because he obviously hasn't learned his lesson. It's like the NFL.
Don't blink, it's your blink.
If you go watch the tape, you'll see that by the time I was
I love these fries.
You love them.
Say doesn't lie. Like as far as I know, it could have been Mike or 6'5", 250-pound Ken. I was just pushing to get somebody. And like I even said, get off me. And by the time I realized what happened, I instantly snapped out of it because I realized I had pushed Kelly. And at that point, like you had other people jumping in, screaming at me, and I was just confused. Like you can see on my face, I was
so
confused.
afraid when I seen Wings push Kelly that I called my dad and cried to him and told him what was going on because my PTSD cleared up. I was scared to death. It felt like a rock on my chest. How can I make it thumbs up?
This is Cricket Maker 4.
I don't know what my hub was doing that run. Didn't pay that much attention. Don't know how Canoe Field. I have PS, Within Swamp, and Sun Lab. Nothing else research. I suddenly started investing in PS and the Swamp, and it helps me at Unimount where there are fast UTS. Later for me.
Whether you're making your space special or making
I love
experience the power of personalization.
DS,
with Cricket Maker
especially paired with BH. My apologies. Okay, right works. Ooh.
Wings, what got me upset is you saying it's not DB if it doesn't leave a bruise.
And likewise, I feel like I maintained my control pretty fucking good. Not to pat myself in the back, but
My apologies.
I think you did. I was
Yeah, ask yesterday,
how
Boogie.
you managed to do that, but then at some point you told me like you had to because you're the boss.
I remember just looking in Wings' eyes, like, are you for real? Are we really like? I was like trying to like understand. Are we about to fight?
Nobody knows Jordy better than Jordy, right? And like obviously Kelly knows you really well. And at the end of the day, fuck, if you guys know what's going on in the house, I can never know, they can never know, but you know. So somebody says you're something you're not, who cares? You know you're not. So who cares? Fuck.
Because public opinion, and they'll use it, they'll weaponize it.
Yeah. Well, we're here to help with that, you know.
Because look at it this way. Like even if you don't see what happens behind the walls, right? I didn't marry Kelly right away. I knew Kelly for 6 years before we got married. If I was beating her ass every day and like pushing her through tables and shit like that, you think she would have married me?
I know.
Against her parents' wishes, because at the time I had trolls trying to get us to try to break our marriage up.
I'll play this one.
One, Wings, you need to go back and watch the tape because you aren't retelling what we all saw on film too.
I think part of the problem is when you are in a fight or a physical altercation, how you remember that in your mind and everything that happened. Because what happens is your adrenaline starts running and everything's real slowed down. How you remember every little step of that normally is not the same as what happens like on the film if it's being recorded. Like you memorize it wrong, and they'll even, hey, something's going on with your computer. Are you dealing with an earthquake right now? That was crazy.
No, I'm anxious.
Oh, so you're shaking your knee or whatever?
Yeah, it was clear from the video that Wings pushing Kelly was completely accidental. Fight me on it.
I wouldn't say accidental.
It was 100% accidental. Like, do you think I came out of the game room playing to powerbomb my wife to a fucking table?
No, I wouldn't say accidental. What I would say is whoever was in front of you, you were pushing. And I don't think you knew Kelly was in front of you.
Right, because honestly, the only person I realized that grabbed me was Ken. Because Ken, like, decided to push through Ken, and he, like, grabbed me around the midsection. And, like, I was trying to push through, and my left leg got kind of tangled up in his leg, whatever it might be. And I just, you know, like, I felt somebody grab me on the arm, because Ken let go at some point. And I felt somebody grab me on the arm, or had my arm, and I just pushed him, and it was like, I'm like, get off me, and it was like, it was Kelly. He was like, and that's when I stopped, right then and there. And, like, yeah. And I said, like, why'd you get in front of me, or, like, I told you not to get in front of me, or whatever it might be. And that was from, like, the Keemstar fight, because, like, if you go back and watch the tape, like, she gets in front of me in the Keemstar fight as well. And I'm telling her, yo, don't get in front of me, don't do this, stop doing this. And she wouldn't listen then. And that's not trying to say like she should listen to me, but it was like I didn't want to hurt her by her jumping in front of like a physical altercation between men.
Have you and Kelly like had a conversation about it privately where you like apologized?
100%. Like you don't think like the fucking 18 hours on the road we didn't talk about it?
Can you talk us through that? Because I think it would make like it would be so much better, right, for the audience to know kind of like what that conversation was like.
Well, initially when we got back to the cabin, I ended up blaming her a little bit because I was still mad and like shell shocked with everything that happened. And like I sat probably in the recliner 10 minutes. By the time I got out of the recliner, I realized it was my fault. Like she was doing nothing but try to protect me, and I was the one that put her in a situation where it happened. And I can't blame her for her actions. I only can blame me for my actions.
There you go.
And I apologized to her. And then I also apologize for the next 2 days that's going to happen because I'm going to be spaced out and I'm going to be in my own world, and it's going to feel like she's dealing with a glass wall. And like that was the conversation there. She had to give you more insight because those next 2 days were a blur. Like a lot of it was just me driving down the road, living in my head, reliving it over and over again. Because like,
okay, good.
I mean, Gino did me dirty here.
Goblet of Oak. Heed my call. Those seeking revenge must pay the price. Everything falls to the wayside in the face of ruthless power. Goblet of Oak.
The way. From the electronics. Okay, so that's done.
Discord. and say like that's momentum or some shit like that. Because in my head, I haven't seen the video yet, right? Yeah. In my head, that's what happened. Like I was kind of pushing through Ken.
Good.
Like, the forward momentum kind of pushed her over, but like after seeing the video, I'm like, nah, I fucking pushed her. Because like in my head, I didn't push her at all. Like when you're reliving it in the moment, and like Gino kind of just left out the door. Like 2 minutes later, when somebody showed me the video, like, oh yeah, I fucking pushed her. And like I just said, like everybody painted the narrative as bad as humanly possible. Never.
Partridge.
He handled it well. He was scared.
I can tell you for a fact, when Wings was pushing me, I wasn't scared. My adrenaline was running. I was in fight mode, right? Like, which is kind of like fear. Like when you have your.
What's the one in your mirror?
There is a part of fear there, right? But
She blocked me.
I remember true fear and like actually being scared
Partridge.
is when
Partridge.
you plowed through. Because now I'm thinking like,
I love these fries.
Oh, you love them so much.
Does Wings have a weapon in the car or whatever? I'm just being honest. Like this is where my mind was going. I was like, he's lost it. He's out of control. Like, you know.
So what's the video I have to do yet?
If anyone else would have got pushed, it would have been like, okay, you know, he's a hothead and you know he needs to calm down. But when Callie got pushed, it was like, oh wait, he may have lost his mind. You know, that caused me to have true fear of like, oh my, I don't know what's gonna happen next.
The worst part about all this, I wasn't even coming over to hit anybody. I was coming over to yell at Boogie. Like I don't like Boogie, you've never actually stated this, but I'm sure you'll remember this because John was standing right behind you, and John goes, "What are you doing?" Like I don't want to try to hit anybody.
What was going on in your mind when we were in the pushing match? I'm curious because for me it was like, are we really on the fight? It was like I was confused.
What ended up happening was I was really livid, and then like you got mad at me for yelling, and the first thought I actually had was like, why is he getting mad at me for yelling? Boogie yells at him all the fucking time. And then like you stood up and my belly like bumped you, and like you put your arm out to like get distance from me. In my head instantly I registered that as a push.
The first thing I remember is you pushing me, and then I was like, oh shit, is this for real? We're about to fight? So then I wanted to have distance, so I put my hand on your throat, right?
Good. I hate you. You were my brother, Anakin. I love you. Do 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 do. It's too hot. Okay. Okay. Why is it so cold? Because it's so cold. Okay. Don't blink, it's your wing. Welcome to the controversial. This is wants to having a wonderful day on this 10th April 25. I want to make a really quick video to say thank you to someone. Now, I can't name that person because I don't know if they want recognition. I don't know if they did it. I don't think they know. I would say I don't know if they did it to say, hey, dude, remember me when you're, you know. They were just super kind. So somebody DM'd me this morning, and they were like, hey, I know you're looking for work. You live in the same city. Here's some of the places that are looking for people. I got this job. I can refer you. So that's I was like, thank you. And she's like, yo, I know it's really hard. So there's some good people out there. And again, I didn't come talking about me looking for a job as a please help me, but also it's a big case of, I don't know, just there's people out there. There's people that are willing to help. There's people that are seeing something and say, hey, I can help. This help. And I just think that. I just think it's a beautiful gesture. I just think it's a beautiful thing to do to someone that you basically don't know that much, right? So super grateful, honestly. So now. Don't blink, it's your Blank. Welcome to another video, welcome to another show. We're going to be having a wonderful day on this 10th April 2025. We're going to be talking about generational enslavement, which is kind of crazy. So don't worry, we're not talking about we're not talking about enslavement in a way that you think. We're talking about it in a way of wage slave, right? So it's I was talking to my father yesterday, right? And I know it's a special subject, but I was talking to my father yesterday, and we were talking about how he was seeing a lot of people on welfare because I was looking for work, and he was like, "Hey, you need welfare." I was like, "Yeah, Dad, I don't feel like having welfare because if I'm having welfare, I'm gonna make enough to survive without necessarily having a job or looking for a job. If I don't need to find a job, why would I look for a job, right?" And then he was talking about how he saw it often. People on welfare. So welfare is when you don't work, the government will give you an amount of money to help you pay bills. right? And we're talking about that, right? And he was talking about something that is really cool. We're talking about generational behavioral studies. Now, of course, he didn't mention it like that, of course, right? Give me a second. Don't blink, you should blink. Welcome to the commercial. We are doing also having a wonderful day. It is 12 o'clock. As you can see, it is a lot darker. We have a lot less light on the balcony, so it's nice because we get to do two sources of video. When you think it's gonna be a different day, no, it's the same thing. Look at the ice here. Super nice. Sorry about that. I need to do another video. So you think about this generational belief that, you know what, you don't need to work. We'll make it, right? If you don't see your parents working, but you're still managing to survive, the first thing you're gonna say is, I can survive like my parent did, right? I know it's possible, so let's try it out. However, in some of the cases, and it's always like the two sides of a medal, right? And my father, the left in my mind was the generational wealth enslavement. So, for example, this basic 9 to 5, right? And for generation, you're an employee and never the employer. And there's nothing wrong with being an employee, right? But there's nothing wrong with being an employee. There's nothing wrong with 9 to 5. But there's something wrong with believing that you're not worth more. Now, technically speaking, you don't have to have ambition. If you're okay with 9 to 5, if you're okay with being an employee, that is super cool. That is super, super cool. I was talking with this girl yesterday, and she was talking to me about how she got promoted. She got promoted to a assistant manager at her store. And my first question was like, how are you dealing with the authority? How do you deal with giving shit to people, you know? And she's like, well, it's shitty, but I'm getting more cash. So, see, it's a risk and reward, right? The risk being shitty, but then the reward, you get more cash. And the idea of the generational enslavement for wealth was that for her, being as a manager was possibly way higher than she could have gotten, right? And again, there's no problem with that. There's no problem with the 9 to 5. If a promotion is a promotion, it's a great thing. A promotion will always be a reason to celebrate, right? However, I think the problem is that you are in this mold and this generational enslavement of there's nothing that I can do without that, right? So we were seeing that before. We were seeing that way centuries ago. The father was a blacksmith, the son was a blacksmith, the grandson was a blacksmith, and it was causing a problem because although the problem wasn't the fact that they were blacksmith, the problem was that they felt enslaved in the mentality of there's nothing else I can do, right? So writing the horizon. Also, we saw that a lot in Quebec, in particular. Like for example, you had a familial farm, and you would need nothing. You would have food, you would have milk, you would have eggs, you would have everything and anything that you ever could have wanted. However, there was a price for that. There was a big price for that. Your kids are going to take care of the farm. Those kids are going to take care of the farm, right? And ultimately speaking, it doesn't matter how many generations are truly willing to do this. Maybe one generation is not willing to. They'll be like, no, this is not me. So I do think that and again, it's a mentality of I need to get married because my parents were married, and the parents were married. Or I need to have children because my friends have children, right? It is a mental enslavement because you want to be part of this. So it's a reverse psychology, the hive mind. So the hive mind is I want to act like my neighbors because they're normal, so I want to be normal, so I act like a normal person. And the hive mind is that. But the reverse psychology is if you don't do that, even though you think like everybody else, you're not part of everybody else, right? And then it is crazy because I was watching people that have companies that are company owners, and they were saying it's crazy this generation is weak because all you need is a little bit of guts or a little bit of bravado, and the world is yours. And although I agree with that, I disagree with it because most of these people are it's so ingrained in them and so part of their system or belief system actually. That's okay, well, I can't do nothing else than this, so that's what I'm going to do, right? And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. However, I do think that where it becomes wrong is the factor that, okay, well, you never even envisioned being something else, right? As a kid, you got this beautiful spirit of, hey, I want to be a police officer, I want to be a firefighter, right? And I want to be like an astronaut. Then you never do it because you realize that no, it's not possible. But even as a kid, you see the babies and they're playing with food a lot, right? And this is actually something to develop the senses. This is really helpful for I don't know. There's a specific word for it. I don't know it, but it's very beneficial for them to play with food, right? So there's some curiosity, there's some naivete, some hope, right? And then you lose that, and I think that's sad. And I think it's sadder that the only reason why you're thinking that way is because that's how you were raised. And it's funny because this morning we're talking about nature versus nurture, and that's part of nurture, right? Part of nurturing is that, and that's insane. You know, I was talking about also, am I truly kind or am I just kind because I was taught to be kind? Am I just kind because my parents were kind? If my parents were kind, I was able to be kind myself. It's a complicated thing. It's a really complicated thing. But at the same time, it's very beneficial because, like, okay, well, if I can figure it out, that is super cool. If I can't figure it out, that is kind of like a mess. But if I can figure it out, it's super cool. And I think it's a good question. Actually, a really good question to ask. Why am I the way I am? Why do I feel like I don't deserve more? Why don't I feel like I don't deserve less? There's also this problem. There's also this problem of I think the world is mine, so therefore I'll be like a dick, right? So there's this middle, and this middle I think is a personal journey, right? So what if the pursuit of happiness was the pursuit of understanding yourself, not understanding kind of the balance? Who knows? Now, I said that your storage is low. Yeah, 12 gig. Okay. Don't make experience. Another one. Okay. I'll do what I must. Don't link it, welcome to the commercial. We're doing also having a wonderful day on this 10th April 2025. A lot of you guys have been talking about how the content has been changing lately. And the answer to that is actually really simple. My apologies, it's not as gather normal, but sadly it's not the truth, it's not the answer. And I've noticed a change in my personality, I've noticed a change in my behavior lately, and I gotta say it's as simple as understanding that the weather changed. So I'm not cooped up inside anymore, right? They're working out, right? Because I'm talking to you guys a lot more. we're running a horizon, and we're not stuck in this cage. We're still stuck in a cage, which is society, right? But this cage is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think that's why this content is changing. I think it's a mixture of the fact that, for example, this morning we were filming in the sun, it was beautiful. Today we'll be training, it's always fun. And when we're training, we're talking to you guys, which usually I wouldn't talk. I would spend weeks without talking to people. I can't remember the last time that I didn't talk to a person in one day. And that is why the content is improving. Thank you. The content will change. Don't link, is he waiting to welcome to the commercial? You guys are doing also having a wonderful day on this 10 April 2025. Then we're talking about an important subject. Yesterday I made a video about why we don't give up. And it's going because when I made that video, it was kind of like I was giving up, right? There was a lot of talk of, okay, well, it's not perfect, okay, well, I'm not getting what I want, okay, well, I'm looking for a job. There was a lot of talk of that, right? And at the end, I noticed that I wasn't referring myself as somebody that is a content creator. I wasn't referring to myself as a person who saw themselves being successful or even to long term, right? And I even mentioned this as a hobby, right? But then what is a content creator, right? Now, a lot of people say, hey, there's no result, there's no success, right? What is a content creator? I think the right question is, what is a painter? Because if you understand what's a painter, you understand what's a content creator. You understand what's a musician, you understand what's a musician. If you understand what's a you understand what it is, right? Now, the beautiful thing about this is, for all these three, the musician, the sculptor, and the painter, you can kind of figure out what is the job. We all have a similar description of what it is. A painter is somebody that takes a paintbrush and paints. A musician is somebody that plays music. And a sculptor is somebody that sculpts, right? And we all agree on that definition. However, as a job, we don't necessarily agree. Are you supposed to make money? How many paintings did you have to sell? How many years did you have to be a painter to be considered a painter? How many galleries did you have to be involved with to be a true painter, right? So the context of being a content creator, I think it's very vague, but the perception and the understanding and even the description of it in my book is very different, because to me, a content creator was somebody that used to live out of it. Like, well, every single day they'll make content, they'll have brand deal, they'll do different content, and then they'll be able to survive, right? But then this description changed. This description became, okay, well, maybe this isn't what we're thinking. Maybe it doesn't matter how many videos you do, because even then, this last year, I was making 20 videos a day, and I still felt like 20 was not enough, right? Was it because I didn't see myself as a content creator? Was that secretly why? Was that secretly the source of insecurities, right? The reason as to why we're so insecure. But then when you understand that content creation isn't a paycheck, content creation isn't based upon values like, I don't know, based on value like, I don't know, it's complicated. Based upon values of success, but it's just a figure of speech or a train of thought, like a painter. Like, for example, you look at Picasso, look at Van Gogh, right? Look at really, really popular artists. And they weren't known for this, well, possibly during their lifetime, but they were really popular when they were dead, right? Elvis still sells CDs. Michael Jackson still sells CDs. Michael Jackson was the prey of so many media, right? Now, was there truth what he did? Was there not truth what he did? I don't know. I'm not going to be pronouncing myself something that I don't know. But at the same time, when you understand that content creation as a whole is a different thing, and it's odd because people don't think the word influencer, right? But then, what is an influencer? What's a content creator itself? I think it's a person that counts. So, for example, a painter, a person that paints, right? A content creator is a person that creates content. What is the definition of content? That's where it's weak. That's where it's vague. What is the definition of content? Is there a true definition? Is there a preconceived notion of what's a content creator? And the answer is, I don't know. And that is the beautiful part of it. It's the beautiful part. The beautiful part of it isn't, well, I think it's that and this and that and this and that. That's not the beautiful part. The beautiful part is, I don't need to be successful. I don't need to be I don't need to be the best. I don't need to even be one of the best. I only need to be average or above average, right? And I realize that my definition of content creation might have changed. Doesn't mean it's bad. And your definition of content creator might have changed. Doesn't mean it's bad either. So that is where this confusion, also a sort of understanding, a sort of revelation of, well, as long as I'm doing what I want, and as long as I call this art, I'm happy, right? This video is art now. To me, it's content, yes. Does that make me a content creator? Well, we just created a video, which therefore makes us a content creator. And then, even then, you ask yourself, nobody doesn't ask you, what are you doing? For example, what are you doing? People ask you, what are you doing? You're never going to hear somebody say, I'm a successful content creator. You're going to hear I'm a content creator, right? And that's where it's crazy, because there's different levels of success. There's a hierarchy of the reach that you have. And it's odd to me that they're all falling in the same category, right? But then you think about a painter, think about even a chef in a restaurant. Doesn't matter what you're cooking, doesn't matter where you're cooking, doesn't matter how big is the kitchen, doesn't matter how popular is the restaurant, you still cook. And that's where the information is. Anyway, love you guys, take it easy. Peace. Okay. So, what is affecting social cleaning? Don't wink, it's Wayne. Welcome to the Video Content Show. Today we want to have a wonderful day on this 10th April 2025. They were doing something really freaking cool, and that's something that's really freaking cool. Can I get a drum roll, please? Something that's really fucking cool is we're observing how the content has changed, and how grateful I am that it changed. I was watching my videos, because I was bored. I was watching my old videos, and I realized that the content I used to do, and I possibly still do, is very internal. It's very, this is how I feel. This is, actually, you know what? I think because of the job that I had, it was how I analyze things, how I see things on the outside. And I feel like the content wasn't bad, but I feel like the content was dependent on what happened that day. So for example, oh, at work it didn't go well, oh, at work it went well. So I have to step out. And I don't think I would have been able to vocalize emotion, or vocalize perception, or even vocalize the concept, right? So it was always how we assimilate things. It was always about, there's a concept in front of me, we'll take it and we'll put it here. There was also a lot of recaps, right? And those recap was also a show. I'm seeing the show, I'm seeing something exterior, I'm seeing an exterior context, concept, whatever you want to call it. And this is my analysis of it. So this is how I perceive it, right? And although I think it's beautiful, it's also such a weird thing, because why do I need to so much take my inspiration, take why did this content rely so much on what's going on in my life? Versus right now, where we used to take information and then react to it. Or we used to have information, exterior information, and internalize it. And now we're taking thoughts of internalize. So for example, things that I come up with, things that I'm thinking about, how I perceive things, how I communicate. That communication has improved a lot. And then you talk about it, and you're like, okay, well, this is the concept that I want. This is how I view it, right? And it's crazy because I just made a video about Beehive and generational enslavement, right? And I just did a video about that, and I was thinking about something that I did. That was years ago. It was about the Beehive mind and the way slavery, and it was insane. But I do remember those. I don't remember recapping a show. Now I'm not saying that this is not good, but I'm saying that it's crazy how the concept that we did not enough before is the one we're doing now. Is the one that was the most meaningful to me. Right? And this is even understanding that this is an arc, right? So right now we're doing this, then we're gonna be doing something else. Then maybe I'm gonna get a girlfriend, and that girlfriend is gonna be part of my life, so it's gonna become, okay, well, this is how we view things, and the clash of idea of opinion, right? And maybe when I become a father, and how my perception changed because I am no longer the center of this universe, my kid is, right? So I do feel like this content, and again, there's always gonna be this thought of I should start earlier. There's always this thought of evolution, right? You're never too old to evolve. You're never too old to devolve. So it's this constant fine line of how is the content changing and why is it changing, right? Now, why is it changing? I think it's because, like I said, I think it's a mixture of confidence, a mixture of, see, there's this crazy concept, this really, really crazy concept of I need to come up with videos, so I would talk about IDs. Then I would have this ID, and it would be like a tree, right? This ID, and then you talk about that ID, and then you have this ID, and then you mix it, right? But then you realize that those branches of the tree were only there because you couldn't vocalize or you couldn't focus enough to do one clear thought. Now that you're doing this one clear pot, instead of being a tree with roots, you have a flower. You have a pot of flowers. And they're just different flowers, they're still the same pot. And I think that's amazing. So this evolution of content. And the thing that's going on right now is to continue to evolve. And it's a fun thing that it's going on. I just want to see where it goes, right? Now confidence. And that's what I was talking about, this crazy thing. What changed the content was the ability to talk. The confidence of my opinion, right? How I perceive information, how I understand information, right? It's sad to say, but before I was a content creator, I was listening to music. I was watching a show. I didn't care about what I was watching, right? It was always the same thing. And then the content creator was like, you know what, I already watched it. Let's go a bit deeper, let's go a bit brighter horizon, right? And it's nice because there's gonna be a point where we're gonna be too bright, they'll be too everywhere. We're gonna have to close that gate, right? And I'm excited for that too, right? I'm excited for that too. So it's just like a context of seeing how it goes and seeing how everything will happen. And if we're lucky, we're lucky. If we're not lucky, we're not lucky. But the things that are certain is that we're seeing an evolution, and I'm super stoked to see what's going on to happen next. Again, every day, I'm happy. Just to tell you guys, I used to work with people, okay? I used to see the same people every single day, and they were like a family. And I was shy to talk about them, to talk to them about things that I was feeling, right? And I was even talking about to strangers what I was feeling. That is something that is not okay, it's weird. But then with the confidence, I would talk about real life. See, about a month ago, I really had an issue with making a difference between ink and Steph. And it was always kind of mixing up, and it's reality, we're always mixing up, right? And then what I realized is because I saw Steph as this higher being. I saw Steph as a guy who didn't have this fear, who wasn't shy, right? He had his ID, his ideal, his value, that were different from Steph. And it evolved, right? So then it evolved, and you're like, okay, well, how did it evolve? Then you see Steph evolve too, and the space, the gate, I don't know how you call it, but the space between the two, the difference between the two, he became closer and closer and closer and closer. And by using ink, Steph became more confident, and by becoming more confident, I would be able to do what ink did. But ink would do it online, I would do it in real life, right? And that was a good thing. That was a great thing. I ended up bringing out some CD. They were giving out CD, so thank you so much for watching, guys. Take it easy. Okay.